And welcome everybody to Locked On Lads TV. It is Peter Wilco and I am here tonight with young Scotty Rankin. We'll talk to him in a sec, but I've got to introduce the fact that we're at Texas Motor Speedway. Thanks to my private seller for the Australasian Supercar eSeries for round 9. Apologies for last week. Someone hit a telegraph pole just up the road from my place and wiped power out from my house for about 5 hours. So unfortunately we were not able to broadcast. So unfortunately that is a thing, but I'm here like I said, joined by Scotty Rankin, mate. How are yourself? How is yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Look, to be perfectly honest, I'm hoping that we don't get any on-track redresses that get rejected tonight. If you've seen today's installation of the V8 Supercars from Townsville, that made for a very interesting end of the race.
I missed absolutely everything in the world today. Why I tried to catch up on everything that I tried to. I've been doing stuff and things.
Put it this way, so basically, V8 Supercars, you've got Anton De Pasquale, he's chasing down Shane Van Gisbergen, comes down to the last lap, comes down the last corner, he just barely gets in range, pinches the brake, nudges Van Gisbergen, spins him. Attempts to redress on his way to the start-finish line, Van Gisbergen pulls in behind him and doesn't accept the redress. De Pasquale gets a 5-second penalty, still finishes second. So... It was probably one of the most controversial moments in Australian motorsport that we've had for a good while in terms of things. So I'm actually really keen to see what the fallout is. If anyone out there has seen the moment, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in chat, because I think it's going to be something we're going to be discussing over the next couple of weeks. Is redresses after what has it been? 5 years since that Bathurst redress?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, no, definitely it's been.
You remember Scott McLaughlin, Garth Tander, and Jamie Whincup?
Yeah, I do, but my brain is just not switched on tonight, Scotty. Did you not hear what I was talking about before?
Oh, look, I was leaning into the fact that you've got 30 seconds here whilst they talk. You can recover 30 seconds, right?
Nah, I can't recover nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, look, we'll put a pin in it. We'll circle back next week and we'll talk redresses.
Redresses, as in dresses, as in the red dress, or no? We've got.
Okay, we're moving on. We'll just forget it.
I like this. I like getting Scotty not knowing what he's talking about at the mall, not aware of what's going to happen here. We've got the
Wait,
cars.
was that a reference to something? Was that did I miss a reference?
Yeah, it's all good.
I hate missing references.
It's all good. It's a Matrix thing. Don't worry about it. Let's go to the TV one where the cars coming out of the grid. You want to know what's going on. We've got 43 cars in the field tonight. We've done a pre-quali. We've got it all sorted out as the team. Why is the N... This is not working on this one. Let's go there and let us start that button, and then that'll give you something going. Yes, we need some more moonshine, Jonesy, to get us going. Welcome, Stevie Poppet. Welcome, Darren Robb. Welcome, Emma Parcell. Let's go, Aiden Schultz. That's fair call. Gary Wellman's given us some little things to keep an eye out for tonight as well, including a special team, Probo team member for Sim Boys and a special paint for him. So let's go through this grid. We don't have a lot of time. Dylan O'Shea first, Craig Roffey second, Adam Malone third, Darren McKenzie fourth, Barry Neal fifth, Troy Davison sixth, Cade Donnelly seventh, Justin Witcher 8th, Andrew Dyson 9th, Stuart Anderson 10th, Sean Hart 11th, Tom Pritchard 12th.
Okay. Take a breath. We've got an extra lap. They've extended the caution. You can slow down now.
Thank you, Raymond Yeager. You're an absolute legend. I won't get your thoughts on that, but we'll go Tom Pritchard in 12th, Ruben Phelps in 13th, Philip Worley in 14th, Jai Schultz in 15th, Aiden Schultz in 16th, Warwick Sharp 17th, Gary Wellman, who we were just talking about in chat, 18th, Aaron Dillon 19th, Alan Gill in 20th, Greg Spencer's in 21st, adding Andy Barber's 22nd, Jamie Nankervis 23rd, Peter Jones, who we've been talking about, he's in our chat a fair bit, 24th, Kim Roffey, the other Roffey, he's down in 25th, Ash Nessa, who we've got to talk to again because we missed his interview the other week, 26th, Christian Cock in 27th, Dane Priest in 28th, Brad Fenley in 29th, Todd Maxfield in 30th, Che Malau in 31st, Stephen Hall, the fan favourite, in 32nd, Troy Mortensen in 33rd, Brett Campbell in 34th, Tim Blundell in 25th, Shannon Blackburn in 26th, Noddy Tompkins in 37th, Christopher Finlay in 38th. Peter Matson is in 39th, but not in the server at the moment. Raymond Yeager is the defending champion, and he is in 40th. Nicholas Walsh is in 41st. Aaron Bryan in 42nd, and Wade Sheedy rounding out this field in 43rd. Now, Scotty Rankin, what do we expect from Texas Motor Speedway tonight, first off?
Well, it's going to be another good old draft pack battle as they rumble off of turn number 3 for the first time. Halfway around turn 4, have a look to the left of your screen. Sorry, the right of your screen.
Oh, look at that. The pace car's just dropped off. Look at that.
Yeah. Here we go. It's going to go racing. See that pit lane entry? That is going to be what we're expecting to cause chaos because green, baby. Green flag in the air. And we are rumbling down the straight for the first time tonight.
Yes, we are, and it is a great start from Dylan O'Shea. However, that is number 4 of Adam Malone has bounced straight up to the lead and leading these guys around the back. We've got a Simboys car behind the Simrigs car of Dylan O'Shea. That's what's going on.
Whoa, look at the argy-bargy. Craig Roffey's getting not a great piece of that. And have a look at the car. Malone is just shooting off into the front. He's looking to set sail nice and early on. Kay Donnelly, I don't think he's quite happy with the way he got squeezed there. And, well, to be perfectly honest, I think that's just another Oz Supercars eSeries first lap in the books.
And look at that. There's no chaos eschewed at all, except for the fact that Adam Malone just vanished from the server and reappeared again. Kay Donnelly's cut out to catch him down, which is good to see. But what were you going to say? What did I cut you off from?
Right, so Peter Jones is a 3/4 of a lap down at the moment, about half a lap down, about half a lap back from the leaders. He started from pit lane. Peter Matson has not trundled off of pit lane, and I don't see him in the server like you said. So we're already down to 42 cars from 43, and one of those are half a lap down. There will be a caution at some point tonight, so if you are a Peter Jones fan, that's okay. We'll get there.
We'll get there. It is thick and chaotic
Guess
at the back
who
of this.
I see? Guess who I see in the chat? It is good old Carl Withy. Big shout out to Carl Withy. We've been missing you in the booth. The problem is, when Carl's not here, I run riot. And Wilco, has that been fun for you the last couple of weeks?
It's always been fun, mate. No matter what happens, my life is fun. Just know that for sure. Aiden Schultz look at the middle of this pack. I've just clicked on Aiden Schultz's name just to see where he is. Look at them all. There's 2, 3, 4 wide. It's good to see. But yes, great to have you joining us, Carl, from your bed, getting better. Hopefully, we can't wait to have you back and chatting away and giving me a rest. That's what I'm really after. But yeah, a rest from Scotty. I can just sit there in the background, just shaking my head. That's all I need to do. Then
I'll book time off. Can I have the next rest of the year off? Is that acceptable?
You can do whatever you want, mate. When we start paying you, I might not do that, but hey, look at that. Well, look at it up front. Barry Neal's in the middle of a 4-wide sandwich at the moment. The Simrigs car of Dylan O'Shea. No, that's actually the 41. That's Andrew Dyson getting up there. Where is Dylan O'Shea?
41. 41's Kate Donnelly.
The 041 I'm talking about.
041. Oh, yeah, because we got... See, here's the biggest issue. Yeah, there's issues that we've had. Brett Campbell and I actually argued for a fair period of time over who gets to run the number 15. I got it. He gets 015, and neither of us are really happy. But at the end of the day, welcome to Texas Motor Speedway. As you've probably noticed, that front stretch, there's only a little bit of stretch on it. It's other than that, it's not really all that straight. Look at them fan out. They're struggling to get all the way down there. Banking transition, very big critical factor for IndyCars. They struggle to keep the heat out of the rear tires coming off the banking transition at the end of turn 2. Here, front oval is what we call a quad oval. What does a quad oval mean? It's an oval, you say. It should just mean these sorts of things. What's the difference between quad ovals and tri-ovals? See that? 1 kink and 2 kinks. That's a quad oval. Tri-oval, 1 kink in the front stretch. So that is the difference between a regular oval, quad oval, and a tri-oval.
What you're saying is they were drunk when they made this track in Texas. Yeah. That does not surprise me at all. I better not say that. There might be some snipers in the crowd somewhere.
I'm from Grafton. They were drunk when they built our bridge. As you can tell, it sort of kinks out. It comes out from either side. They had to put kinks in it so it met the middle.
should just knock down that bridge. It'd be a lot easier. Then everyone wouldn't have to go into the heart of Grafton to get KFC.
Well, they built a second one. Yeah, and they should just build a second KFC on the other side of the river.
You would
Like
think
that.
so.
That
Makes
they've
no
got
sense.
two McDonald's.
I'm driving all that
there's-
way down, and I've got craving KFC. There's Macca's, there's everything, there's Subway, there's all this other stuff. Hungry Jack's
Oh,
down.
car on the fence, big shot. And I think Sean Hart just got a piece of it. It was just in front of them, and I think it's actually Adam Malone that got into the fence there. So it was a check up from the car. It was directly ahead of him, which I believe was Dylan Shea, who checked Adam up. Adam got into the fence with
There
a little bit of
is.
a nudge from Sean. Yeah, so it was Adam that did get the fence.
Yes, there's definitely some marks down the side of Adam as we stop talking about Grafton. We've had way too much Grafton for this year already. It's really got a gap happening out the front here. Like, these guys are getting away from him. I didn't expect
Well,
this.
see, this funny thing, I don't know if you know it, Wilco, where if you don't race each other quite so hard, you tend to go faster. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, you tend to carry more momentum through a corner when you aren't side by side with people. Why is that, you say, Scotty? Well, you see,
No one
there's
said
only
that.
one... Oh, well,
No,
let's pretend...
keep going.
Let's pretend somebody did say it, Wilco.
Okay.
And yeah, there is only one optimal line through a corner. The problem is when you put two cars side by side, neither of those cars can tend to take the optimal line, which means they're both going to lose speed.
Well, that's no good. Beyond that, that's called side drafting, isn't it?
No, I call it motor racing. Last Toto Wolf.
Let's have a look at this. We've got Jai Schultz coming up behind D-Mac and Troy Davison here, two of the front runners of the championship. I need to go actually have a look at the championship since I missed last week altogether. As he really gets a run on here and gets around the outside. Let's go to the chopper and see how the chopper. No, yeah, there it is, chopper. How he just gets up behind. He's got to go with D-Mac here on the outside. Got to get around Davison, but you can see how there he just stops, doesn't he? His momentum just goes nowhere.
Yeah. So let's talk championship standings, and critically, the guy that's actually in this top three at the moment is Troy Davison. He's had a phenomenal job, and that's sort of something I did sort of want to touch on, was he's running up at the top end of town. Again, one of the best ways to stay clear of incidents and keep yourself a good finish is to run towards the front end of things. But look, I mean, he's got a long way to go. Biggest thing I'm scared about for him is obviously managing his tyres. He did lead a couple laps early, so there's a bonus point already in it for him. And I think it's in his best interest to let these guys punch the hole in the air and see if he can get Cade Donnelly up here. The problem is, if he backs the pack up here, much in the same way as Kevin Magnussen backed up, tried to help out his teammate Mick Schumacher in the F1 sprint overnight, sometimes it may lead to another car getting past you. So Davison probably won't back these guys up to try and help out Cade here. It's too early in the race for that. He just wants to stay as far forward as he possibly can.
Cade is starting to close that gap down. It's 0.9 of a second now, and it is definitely getting closer. So Cade has got a bit of speed up, so he will probably catch them before things go too far. Like even now, it's down to 0.7. He's definitely got some speed going. There is some big movers in the pack already tonight. As we go through down to the person who's jumped up, the name I saw it straight away, up into 21st spot, Wade Sheedy. Obviously, it was the last name we read out on that board. And Raymond Yeager is the other one, up 23 spots as well in this pack here. What do you... We've got a caution.
We do, and I don't see why. It's actually...
Philip Worley is in the pits. Let's have a look what happened to him.
Okay, that would explain why I couldn't see it.
I think it's a... let's go back. Reverse. He's
Yeah, there you go.
Server.
He's towed. He's towed. He's absolutely towed. We're not going to see why it's been caused.
So he's going along on his own. I think he's had internet problems. He's blacked out there. He's disappeared here. And then he reappears and he's in the wall. Which means he has come to momentum on the outside of the track, which has brought out a
Yeah,
tow,
so
and that's brought out a yellow.
At that point in time, I believe there was actually quite a big pack on their way. So the way that, basically for everyone's benefit, the way that iRacing cautions work is that there must be a pack coming. If he comes to rest and there's half a track length sort of before the next car arrives on the scene, then it's not going to trigger a caution. So the reason the caution was triggered was because he was stopped on the front stretch. The stretch itself is actually very, very narrow here because of the dimensions of the quad oval and all of that fancy American jargon we talked about shortly in the past. And then he's in a tricky spot, and there's too many cars coming, so it'll trigger the caution. Everyone
not a single car staying out for position.
If I was 41st right now, I would just take this. Yeah. I'd stay out. 40 spots is 100% worth skipping a pit stop for. Yeah. Not in your wildest dreams. Even if I'm 20th or further back there, I'm making a strategy play. Why? You've got nothing to lose at this early stage of the race. You can get some clean air on the nose. Maybe you can figure out the track. The other thing is, if you get some clean air at that stage, you can figure out what the faster guys are doing. So if I'm having a rough night in any sort of these higher level series first thing I'm doing is going, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I've got to figure out what I'm doing wrong, what those guys are doing right. A lot of that would have happened earlier tonight in the qualifying session before we would have got here. But now that you're in the race session, now you're in this monstrous pack with non-clear air to all of your aero devices. It's also critical that you figure out what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Go up, figure out what the lead is. Okay, am I running this? The other thing it does do is it gets you out of a hell of a lot of mischief in this middle of the race sort of period as well, this early couple of phases. So I'm very surprised there wasn't at least one taker of the stay out there, but we ran 17 laps before we got our first caution, so there was a good chunk of fuel missing.
Yeah, I get that, and I guess you run the risk of having a green stop pit stop if it goes too long and everyone else doesn't have to, but yeah, I would have thought someone would have. Yeah, I know someone would have taken it. That's, like I said, 40 spots potentially for someone.
If you still pit from, say, like a 10th spot and it goes green all the way up until then, the field spread and would basically be worth 3/4 of a lap. Even that pit stop is still going to cover you off. You're only going to lose half a lap back to the tail end of the field, or something. You're not going to lose anywhere near as much margin by staying up near the front. So that field spread is quite critical in these sorts of things. A few of these guys maybe not necessarily firing off on all cylinders. The other thing is, if you're at the tail end of town, generally you've been fuel saving the whole time. Exactly. You've got more fuel than the guys that are out in front of ahead of you, which means the deficit's a lot lower. Something for these guys to think about as the night progresses.
You have Brett Campbell in Lightning McQueen colours, by the way. I just wanted to quickly note, I've gone through the stopping in the box times. Adam Malone, the one car with damage, what I'm focusing on right now, 7.2 seconds on the pit box. I don't understand
could have been minor.
That. No,
it could have been very, very minor.
Everyone else has taken 13 to 14 seconds for their pit stop. He's half of everyone else, so he hasn't taken any damage, and
he's taken a half splash of fuel. Additionally, he could have been running very, very.
Well, we're racing again. Sorry about this, everyone. I thought we had another lap to go, but yes, they were too wide. Joy Shields has got out to a lead. Darren McKenzie gets behind him. It doesn't make sense for where he's sitting. Like, he hasn't jumped up many spots either, although the roads. I don't know. It's interesting, but he's taken track position.
You know what? He may have jumped out. He may have had a setting or something that he wanted to rebind within iRacing. So what he would have done is jumped out to the menus, rebound that, jump back in the car. It only starts counting once he gets back in the car. So that'll be what it is.
That little thing. But we have Jai Schultz and Darren McKenzie leading the pack here. Kate Donnelly and Troy Davidson, what we're talking about, they wanted to get together before, and they are up there. Let's quickly go to the 26th spot on the field. The old Lightning McQueen of Brett Campbell flying around in the 015 there. Ka-chow, everyone. And Brad Fenley doing a good job there behind him as well, just staying out of trouble doing the job.
I'd still like to point out to Brett, because he will watch this back, I'm still the better 15, mate. Catch up. Brett and I have had this going on for a few seasons, don't worry.
Right behind him, fan favourite. Let's see on him for a second. Let's go in with Steve Hall in the roll bar and see what's happening in and out of the Holden of 25 here as he goes around. You see him drifting up there. He's got a lot of wheel. His tyres are doing a lot of work to keep him going there. There's a lot of squealing there.
Yeah, so I heard this from a very good friend actually recently, who was doing some coaching with me in the lead up to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. There's two sounds that a tyre can make within iRacing. Something I actually didn't know until it was pointed out to me recently. I've been on the service for 2 years. You think these sorts of things would be something that you'd notice. There are two types of sounds that a car makes, or the tyres make. There's a squeaky tyre, that's a happy tyre, and then there's a scrubbing tyre. It kind of sounds like nails across a chalkboard. It's the sound you don't want to hear.
So what sound is he making there? Because he seems to be going in, like you can see that whole field's getting down low there, and he's drifting up.
He's definitely. I'm definitely hearing a lot more of the scrubbing sound and a lot less of the squeaky happy tire sound for sure.
Okay, that's on board with Steve Halls. We see Brickhair will get out of line there, and get up a little bit there. But look, they're having fun in the middle of the pack. They're staying out of trouble, giving lots of width. You can see there. No one wants to be near anyone else there. But they've also let that gap happen. There's about a 1.5 second gap there between Christopher Findlay, who we're on board with, we're watching now, to Greg Spencer just behind there. That crew has got a little bit of a gap there, which is fine if we get a safety car at some stage, but at some stage they probably should look at maybe losing that gap and getting together and working together a bit more. As we go back to the front, Darren McKenzie's got a bit of a gap, not much. On Jai Schultz, it's all pretty same as we go around at the moment. Emma Lee Parcell says good luck to my man Aiden Schultz and to the Southern Stars and Sky Point boys. They are leading 1-2 at the moment, that team, which is doing a great job. Aiden Schultz is... Where is he?
Hiding.
He is, look at that.
He doesn't want the camera on him.
He doesn't at all. Okay,
is that what 12th I see on the screen on the left?
Oh yeah, this too. Sorry. There he is. My brain is not on at all at the moment. As he sits behind Barry Neal, probably not the safest spot to sit.
Yeah, Barry's had one of those seasons. To be perfectly honest, that's not. I've driven a couple of seasons with these guys, so I do understand. You know, I've got the benefits and experience of being alongside them on track. From what Barry is a more aggressive driver, and there are inherent risks with driving in that manner. Ultimately, over the last few seasons, Barry's actually not been involved in anywhere near as much stuff. So whether or not Barry's just run dry on in terms of patience, or this is new big bad Barry, the new big bad Barry, the new big bad boys in town, and he's just gone, this is how I'm going to drive from now on. So, you know, a little bit of an adjustment for him. I do want to say a big shout out as well, Warwick Sharp. Have a look at the Stone Cold Racing driver. This is actually, he's run quite a few times up inside the top 10. This is the most consistent I've seen him. We've now had 2 reasonably length green flag periods, and he's right here. Kim Roffey knows this guy quite well. These guys will work together all night long. Just keep your eyes on them.
Okay, eyes are kept on. You can see a couple Aiden Schultz making a move back on Gary Willman there, but I don't think he's going to make a stick because we stick on... Oh, he is actually. Let's go back there and have a look. He got it, he made it work. He's got light right on the side. No, Gary's got it back.
Yeah, so the difficulty is and you'll see this at most tracks, generally the drafting lane forms up against the wall. Why? You want to open the corner up as much as possible, and you want to tend to the outside. It makes more of those squeaky happy tire sounds if you do that, and less of those nails across the chalkboard. So he's trended towards the outside. Ultimately, wider apex, more momentum can be carried. Gary Wellman's given him that one. He's quite happy. Gary will just slide in here. Yeah, very happy with that. That is a very experienced race car driver move in the way that Gary's let him have that one. He's let him come down. He's let him get aggressive. He's let him take the move away without losing too much time. And that's the critical factor. A lot of times you see guys get aggressive with the way that they want to defend, and they both lose time. Gary didn't there. Very smart.
Yep, definitely. As we see Aiden move on to the next Sim Boys car in his line. Aaron Dillon there. We got Ryan Barber in chat saying, let's go boys. Sebi and I cheering you guys on while we're playing our games, which is fair. That's what I'd prefer to be doing right now. No, this is great. Look at this action.
You just want to get out there, Wilco.
I do, and I sat there the other night going, how do I get in and race this thing and not have to commentate? We got Carl. I've got to get Carl back.
Carl, get in. We want to get Wilco on one of these things. Come on, Carl.
Oh, Aaron Dillon gets right on the back of Roffey there. The Craig variety, and Aiden Schultz is there on the inside to make sure that he can't get any lower. This is some nice little racing. But yeah, I drove a V8 the other night in the V8 Vets, and I was embarrassing. So you don't want to see me out there. I'll probably cause a 55 car pileup.
Absolutely, I do. It's a completely different feeling though, because I mean, a lot of the time it's all about a suspension transition in terms of the V8 supercars and keeping the rear underneath the thing. Well, high speeds, you got a lot less of that. The momentum's there, so the car sort of wants to go in the directions, and the car's actually quite stable, so it drives very, very differently.
Yeah. My biggest problem was I was driving around Laguna Seca. No one likes to drive a V8 around there, to be honest.
I mean,
It's not good for you.
If you're a fan of the V8, I don't think it's all that bad of a track. It'd be one of those technical tracks that would force drivers to find their overtakes a lot more.
You know, I didn't overtake anyone. I got stuck in the corkscrew on the dirt and ended up sliding down across the track. Luckily, it was the point where no one was on there. As we look at these three cars, very, very nice looking liveries all next to each other. The Methanol Moonshine team, all racing around each other. Peter Jones, Stuart Anderson, and that would be Tim in front. Yes, it is Tim. So that's what we got told we should be drinking, mate, before we start. A few shots to warm up. Is that something we should be doing?
I mean, it can't hurt. Oh, there's actually a few guys that I commentate in a few other leagues, and they've got a guy by the name of Peter Morris from Fishy Motorsports.
Yes,
and he has this thing called the Sippometer. It's great. It's about it's the amount of wine he's consumed whilst he's been driving.
Oh,
now,
no.
ultimately, Pete is just one of those happy, fun-loving guy. He has an absolute blast with it. So I've never seen it cause an issue for him. But if you get too many cautions in a row, I mean,
yeah, that's the problem. We won't talk about Daytona 500 fans car this year, where I got taken out a bit more. So it's all good. Let's go to Aiden Schultz, he's still on a rampage. He's up to 6th here. We caught him in about 12th before. Well, Barry Neal's back in 13th right now, with Raymond Yeager right behind him. Raymond Yeager's doing a great job as always coming up.
Getting spicy. Warwick Sharp shoving the nose in underneath Dylan O'Shea.
Nah, that is not Dylan O'Shea. That's Andrew Dyson.
Dyson, wrong one. It's it's two guys.
Car.
Yeah. I knew it was. I had the right livery.
I'm being told Methanol Moonshine is good. Okay.
It's also good for going
3
fast. Yep.
Aiden Schultz is doing a great job here. What's the secret here? Don't give away his secret, but he's just taken just in the laps we've been watching, about 7 or 8 cars, and now he's gapping this bunch and moving on to the Dylan O'Shea as the next car in his lineup.
I mean, he's clearly figured something out. I would say it's the fact that Jai's ahead of him, and well, he wants to be the better Schultz.
The speed.
Yeah.
Straight away.
it's like a catch-up mechanic. You ever get that in Mario Kart?
Yeah, that's it. He's got the Jai Schultz shell, and he's flying, or mushroom, and he's flying through the field.
Look, he's just timing his runs. Have a look at the way that he's rotating the car. He's fanning out, and he's keeping the momentum up. So he's making sure that he's not getting all the way to the bottom like these guys are, not forcing the car to rotate over aggressively. So there's sort of 2 ways that tires and iRacing wear or you feel this unsteadiness in them. One is obviously direct tire wear. That's a big part of it. But number 2 is actually tire heat. And I'd say the way that he's attacking these corners, his tires are just a little bit cooler than everyone else, and that means a little bit more grip.
Will we? So you reckon will we see tire wear at all on Texas be a problem?
Absolutely.
Will this be helping him or hindering him later on in the race?
Well, the way that he's just driven that corner may be helping. The critical factor for these cars is basically in the same way as you would have experienced at Laguna Seca. Anytime you put the foot on the floor, it unloads the front tires. Now, it's kind of difficult to say that when a lot of the lap around most of these speedways is actually spent at full noise. Now, this is the big transition period. You've got to get the car down there and you've got to rotate it. So it's about using the throttle. Generally, these cars tend to rotate with a little bit of throttle input, but you don't want to be on full throttle. You still got to learn to play with the throttle. It's a real art form to actually get that down.
I just want to go back here, just with Greg Spencer here, one of the Pinnacle esports guys. Down 5 positions. Like, usually you expect Greg to come up through the field, but obviously that's a strategy they're running. He wants to be there, Lightning McQueen. Very close to Lightning McQueen he wants to be near, but yeah, like, what do we expect here? He might be fuel saving, tyre saving, just waiting for the end of the race, but because we don't usually see a Pinnacle car going backwards like this at the moment.
Well, let's actually, if you've got a track map available, there's a couple of things I'd like to point out. You don't have that one? Okay.
Not
right.
with this order, this pack that I've got.
Not how we're set up tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry,
that's
everyone.
fine. No, that's fine. It's so what you can actually see, blimp cam might actually even show it as well, or just a long distance shot.
PB3 is your best one.
We're digging. Have a look at the gap down the front stretch. Look at all that vacant track, and this is for position 24. These guys and the leaders at this point are actually only a few seconds off getting to the tail end of the pack. What's happened is we've had a whole bunch of mini battle packs forming. There's really no one that's isolated at the moment. Every single car has gone in a minimum of twos. There's two car micro packs. Now, it's about, I would say Greg Spencer's chilling out all the way back here because something's happened to a group of cars up ahead of him, and he's been stuck behind the car that's had to check up. That car's lost its momentum to the point whereby they've then fallen out of the draft of the cars ahead. They start squabbling, the pack gets further and further distance, and, well, now it's too late. And now you can sort of see, they're like, well, I need to go forwards. I need to go somewhere with this. So Greg Spencer started pushing his way through this pack because they've got to go chasing. Maxfield guys are about 5 seconds back from the next little group of two cars, the 20th and 21st, which I believe is Christopher Finlay and Todd Maxfield. And then there's about 8 or so seconds all the way around to the next big pack, which runs from 19th up to 12th.
That's the best I could do. That was pretty good. You got to see the difference there. It is interesting. Top 5 seconds covers the front, the back of the front pack, which is Gary Willman, right up to Darren McKenzie over there. As you can see there on the back of front of Darren McKenzie is Justin Witcher, which is not a name we expect to see in the back here. And is that Adam Malone?
I'd say he's just not figured this out.
2 laps down, so he's had many issues tonight.
This looks like your sort of track that it's funky. And it's not as straightforward as you think. And I would just say, and this is rare for Justin Witcher because he's one of those oval guys, he's just sort of can pick things up. I would say there's something funky and he just hasn't figured it out. And he's maybe now starting to, because we've just seen him pick up a whole bunch of spots. He's picked up 2 spots in the last lap, and he's going to pick up a whole bunch more here as well.
That Code 9 car on the outside is all over the shop. He's going to try and pick a gap here. No. Yes.
Perfect.
Oh.
Lane choice. All about lane choice. All about lane choice at the right time.
Will he get
Got to
down?
shove the nose. Gets the nose underneath. So again, look at the way that these cars, you've got 3 cars, you can throw a blanket over them. Every single one of those cars has chosen a different line down on the turn number 1. Why is that? You want that front splitter working as best as you possibly can. He's just nailing the throttle now. So he's figured it out. He's figured out whatever he needed to. I would say there's a tire fall-off point, and he's hit the point whereby he's gone, well, the leaders are coming. I have to go. I don't have a choice. Or everyone else's tires are starting to fall off. Have a look at the leaders. The leaders are caught
right
back.
There. Wow. I was just looking, I'm like, that group just got really big, really all of a sudden. But no, that is because this group is getting swallowed up. Ash Nessa, Steve Hall are now on a lap down. And you're about to see Aaron Bryan, Che Malloy, Tim Blundell, and Justin
Somebody
Witcher.
caught the apron. Ash Nessa just caught the apron down in turn 3. So he was right down there and checking up in a big way.
He's got some damage. Look at that. I don't know where he's got that, but he is not looking good right now.
So he's caught the outside barrier at some point. That would be the car that had damage earlier on in the piece. So that is a continuation. It's gotten worse since the last time I've seen him then. I did notice a car that was hanging around in that 35 to 40 spot that did have damage earlier on. I didn't know it was Ash.
There's so which is now up with this crew, which is the Methanol Moonshine crew. And he is carving his way through them, all battling to stay on that lead lap. He's praying for a caution, or
I don't think so yet. I don't think so quite yet. I think Witch has got his strategy. He's stuck to his guns, which actually gives us more information actually about Greg Spencer and what they're doing, and that tells us a lot about Ray. So generally what you actually find with the Pinnacle guys is they split their strategies. They're quite adept at doing it. You've always got one of them fuel saving. Always, no matter what the thing is, one of them tire saving, one of them doing something different. They're always trying to keep a car in the strategy window, no matter what that window is. Tonight it's Justin's turn.
Excellent. So we go up a little bit further. That's Greg Spencer trying to lead this pack, which is still, it's only 2.5 seconds away from this group, but that group in front's then 10 seconds back. But they are slowly but surely catching Christopher Finlay and Todd Maxwell there, just ahead of them.
I've just taken a quick look back. Raymond Yeager's just working with Alan Gill at the moment. He's just gone around Ash Nesser as well. So he's starting, I'd say this is a typical Ray drive. He's about 50% save, about 50% push, which means right now, I still think that the fastest cars out there is going to be Justin Witcher and Greg Spencer, those guys that have heavily saved, which means that with this mega pack forming back up again, you're going to see these guys really start to zero back in. So now it becomes a thing. Can I get away from these guys? Can I get aggressive? Can I get through this pack? This is critical. If a caution is going to form, I would not be surprised if it's in the next 5 laps.
Ruben Phelps in the pits.
Could that be? That might be a scheduled stop, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking at 54. It'd be getting up close to it. I just noticed it before. That's not often that Ruben comes in first, but
17 laps was when we came in earlier under the caution period. So a starter's lap 17, crossing over to exiting on lap 18.
Team Hall. Team Hall's in a lot of trouble. He's 7 laps down and in the pits, unfortunately, with Mark on his side. Sorry.
Yeah, that's over for Steve, unfortunately.
Ruben is out of the pits right now. That was 23.6 seconds on the box. That's pretty much fuel and tyres, or maybe not even tyres. We don't know.
No, there'd be no tyres at this stage. Absolutely not. Wow. Could that be the reason Ruben's come to pit lane?
Not sure.
If he has burned off the tyres, well, he's got a long distance to go, but it's sort of 80-ish laps that he's going to have to make on those tyres.
That is wide there. Oh, that's one of the lapped cars.
Yeah.
You can see
Aaron Bryan?
just up there. Yeah, it might have been. The one with a lot of numbers in it.
Tell you what, look at D-Mac. This is again this typical drive that we've seen from D-Mac. Again, getting out there, getting aggressive, and it would not surprise me if somebody's going to fall off on tyres. It might be D-Mac, but at the same time, he's had the freshest air. Now he will be the most fuel compromised. He will be one of the first cars that you'll see on pit lane. But well, remember how I talked about splitters being important and having them work? His splitter's done the most work.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job up front. He's now got 2 teammates around him, which is going to help him. As Aiden Schultz has done that drive and got himself up to the front. That is an amazing drive from him. That's very well done. But Kay Donnelly is actually leading this race right now. He's chased down by D-Mac and the 2 Schultzes in this pack. We have got Dylan O'Shea just behind Wade Sheedy. Wade Sheedy, we were talking about him before, started near last, up 36 positions to 6th right now. That is a great job.
Whether or not he's short pit under the caution as well, that could be critical. And with the other guy that did short pit was Adam, but Adam is now off the lead lap.
Yeah, he's way back. So I think there's something else going on with his either internet or computer or something along those lines. That's what makes sense to me, as Justin Witcher doing a great job keeping himself on the lead lap here. He's got away from that group of the Methanol Moonshine crew, and he's working his way to no one. There's 3 or 2.5 seconds from here between him and Jamie Nankervis right now. So he just needs he's going around at 30.9, 30.5, but Kate Donnelly and the crew are going around at 30.5. So
yeah, but he's got no draft support, whereas Donnelly does. So, yep, I mean, if these guys, he's been cruising around for such a long period of time, which that's an odd line that he's taking as well. He's not running right down on the apron as well. So, and that's Shane Mallow that Donnelly's going to catch at the moment. So this is critical for all you guys who are spectating out at home. You might be looking at lapped cars. Why aren't they just getting out of the way? Well, here's the thing. It's so critical to stay on that lead lap. Once you go to 2 laps down, going between 1 and 2 laps down, that means next to nothing. Well, I mean, that it basically puts the nail in the coffin. That is the final nail in the coffin to say, hey, my race is actually over. But the difference between going from no laps down to 1 lap down is mega, because that is strategy. That means if a caution comes out, you have to stay out to get your lap back. You have no choice,
Yeah,
you know.
you're
So
losing options at that stage. As you can see, just
yeah,
behind, Aiden Schultz has got the lead of this race. And him and Kay Donnelly have made a little bit of a gap here. It's nearly a second back between them and D-Max. So I think it's either they're doing a really good job or the other one's the tyres drove off or there's been an issue with some lap traffic and slowed them up. You can see from there, from the high shot, they've made a gap.
I think they've just been quick through the traffic. They've just been clean and consistent. Instead of fighting through the traffic, you'll actually see these guys have probably just been running single file through the traffic. And that's the difference, is as you get a little bit further down, there's a little bit more squabbling in amongst the traffic. So that's where they've sort of split the field and sort of run away from these guys. They did come up on a couple of lap cars that didn't really want to get out of the way. You know, it's not like they were blocking. They were just there. And
Troy Davis. Oh no, he's not. Sorry, yeah. Go.
So I think it's just through benefit of just right place, right time. And when you're cutting your way through lap traffic on an oval, it is right place, right time. There is no better way to do it. No blue flags, no get out of the way. Just please race me clean is the only ruling.
So there's a lot of cars all of a sudden just went red on my time order, which means they started losing spots and were way off pace. And I don't know whether Shannon Blackburn's had a moment there and slowed up a few people, but he's in the pits. He's got damage on the side of his car. And yeah, there was a few people that started going. Stuart Anderson was one of them. He went a lap down. Yeah, there's interesting stuff going on in time, boys. You can see there the difference between Aiden Schultz and Justin Witcher now for his spot. There's not much time in it at all.
I mean, it's right there. Aiden's definitely found something. You made a note that Aiden went a long way back in that opening stanza before we got our first yellow. I wonder if he wasn't saving tyres and he's gone. One of the benefits here, a big benefit, and you don't see it a lot of tracks because it generally doesn't matter. It's generally just fuel numbers. But the big benefit of having a big team, Sim Boys have got it. Pinnacle, Skypoint, these guys are all working together. They've got it. It's actually tyre wear. When you come down to your pits, when you come into your pit stall, it's like the digital marshals get out there and they have a look at your tyres, they have a look at the tread pattern that's left on it. Yeah, you get a percentage number in amongst your iRacing overlays of how much tread you've actually got left on your tyres. Aiden, I would say, has taken a look at his tread blocks and gone, yep, I've got this much tyre. What has everyone else got? And everyone else has given him a smaller number. And Aiden's gone, yep, let's go.
Stuart Anderson is now in the pits as well, by the way. Nicholas Walsh is in pit lane heading back out now. Just keep an eye on these green flag stops as they come through. Craig Roffey's going really well to chase down Jai Schultz. Jai Schultz has just ducked away from him a little bit, which is interesting to see. He's trying to catch up to the lead two.
This is interesting. This is really interesting here, Wilco. Have a look at this. Have a look at that big pack right there. That's a mix of lap cars and lead lap cars. These guys are trying to decide when to pit. Well, you're not going to come down early at this stage of the race. You've got to run this tank out. The problem is these guys would have been running very similar fuel numbers. You're going to have lapped cars and lead lap cars pitting at the same time. That is going to be an issue.
We have heaps of cars looking like they're coming in. Andy Barber's coming in. D-Max in. Tom Pritchard's in. Tristan Cox in. Aaron Bryan's in. Everyone is starting to really consider they have to do this. So this is exactly what Witch has got. If he's saved enough fuel, saved enough tyre wear, he's still doing a great job staying on this lead lap, staying ahead of these guys. As we see Craig Spencer finally making the call to come in. Lightning McQueen himself is in. That was...
No tyres. That'll be no tyres. No. No, you get the reference, Wilco?
No tyres. No tyres. No tyres.
I'm sorry. You were on a flow there. I'll let you go back to it.
Kay Donnelly is in. Everyone's from that front pack is just about in. Josh Schultz inherits the lead, but comes in. Dylan O'Shea, the pole sitter, stays out.
Was close to speeding for Jai.
And look at the person behind Dylan O'Shea there. Raymond Yeager worked his way up to the front, 37 positions. Doing a great job. And like I said, this is all great for Justin Witcher as long as he can stay out there for a little bit longer, because he His tyre wear and fuel saving was really good as he gets a few more spots.
Jaeger's coming in. Jaeger's coming in this time. Yeah. So remember what we were talking
With
about,
Hart.
Raymond
Ooh.
Jaeger? That's the line there. So it's a lot further in than you think. The initial shot makes it look like that yellow line is the line. That's the commitment line.
Yep.
Basically, once you cross that yellow line that goes across the pit lane entry, like that at a right angle, that is the line where you are committed and you must come to the pit lane. You cannot cross that line and then go back out onto the racetrack.
Which is in.
Justin, which is in. Yep.
Let's see where he comes out. This is going to be very interesting. Who took tyres? Who didn't take tyres? So this is looking like 53.
We're past halfway.
53 laps is what you're going to get. 50 from here is, look at that, not quite enough.
Just shy.
Ooh,
shy.
We have to have another stop.
So, what you're going to say, so there are there's three strategies as I see it now. You split this wreck, there's yellow out in the backstretch.
That is huge. Who is it? Give me an idea.
Drop the car, Justin. Drop the car right now.
Let's stay on board with Justin. He's staying.
Whenever that yellow comes out, just drop the car.
He's a lap down. Oh,
So-
this is fascinating. I don't know what's caused this. Have we got a car?
There was a wreck between exit of turn two. I don't know who it was. It was somebody that was down at the tail end of the pack. I saw 40th that was going nowhere, which makes me
Todd
think.
Maxwell has a lot of damage on his car. Let's quickly go back to this, and then we'll see where everyone shakes out. Jason Fewens reckons Roffy's livery looks amazing as well in chat. Oh, he's on his roof on his side. Oh, this is big. That's a code 9 car on the inside there. Let's have a look from above. Go back a little bit. He's exiting. That's him exiting the pit lane. Who's that?
No, it's Todd Maxfield there in the center of your shot.
Oh, he's already wobbly here.
Big old wiggle on.
And then he's taken the car coming out of pit lane. He's just cut across in front of and didn't hit. But at this stage, he's got a slap. Oh, and then he's hit.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's such a shame. 613.
That right there messes
Alan
the
Field.
field up.
Oh, and he's hit the wall and stopped and gone backwards. Has anyone hit Jill on the way through? I think it's only the two cars involved at this stage.
Oh, stay there. Please, for the love of God, stay there.
He is for now. There's no one behind him. He's good to go.
So, yeah, now you're good to go. So this is what a lot of people refer to in iRacing as always check your relative before you rejoin the track. What they actually have in the V8 Supercar series in real life is you have a track map. You have track timings, and you can see little dots racing around a image of the track map. What the spotters will do is somebody will, whenever there's, I've gone off, the next thought is, okay, you're clear, you've got this car coming probably about 5 seconds behind, you've got this car coming, don't rejoin there. So what he's actually done on iRacing is, yeah, you have a spotter, but it's not kind of the same level. He can't really tell you, oh yeah, there's no cars coming, you're clear to go. He doesn't have that capability. So you actually, as a driver, you have to look down at a section on your screen that's called a relative. It's the relative cars around you and their distances and times to you. What that tells you is whether or not you can rejoin the track safely.
Okay.
And a lot of unsafe rejoins are triggered by drivers just gassing it and not checking that box first.
Yes, definitely. So let's have a look at how this is all shaken out. This has got massive repercussions for the race. We're getting some fuel saving going on. So there is the potential that, what are we, 60, 59 out? I don't think people, unless we get a couple more cautions, it's going to be hard to get to the end with the tanks they've got. Now, Dylan O'Shea, Andrew Dyson, Sean Hart, Troy Davidson, Warwick Sharp. That's your top 5 right now. Bad Fenley, Kay Donnelly, Raymond Jaeger, Aiden Schultz, and Jai Schultz. Some people got caught out in that. Some people didn't get caught out in that. They're currently all in the top 10. D-Max there, Roffy, Craig, Variety, Barry Neal, Wade Sheedy, Andy Barber, Dwayne Priest, Justin Witcher are all on the lead lap. Justin Witcher got out there and got back on the lead lap. Very well done. But then we've got another 15 cars that are one lap down. These guys have been caught out. People like Greg Spencer, Christopher Finlay, Kim Roffey, Tom Pritchard, Brett Campbell, Jamie Nankervis, Noddy Tompkins are all a lap down, and there's a few people that have unfortunately dropped down 2 laps. What do you do
Adam
at
Malone's
this
got
stage?
one back, actually, so he's done really, really well. Gary Wonman's got a 2 laps down as well, which is unlike him. I would say that's probably a speeding on pit lane penalty. He's had to stop and serve a penalty, more than likely. Ash Nessa 2 laps down, Aaron Bryan, Nicholas Walsh is at 4, and Todd Maxfield's at 6. So right now, you have to take your lap back. First and foremost, you cannot give up what is effectively 30 seconds of free time. How do you get that back? When the safety car comes out, it will try and catch the leader. The next time by, everyone who's on the lead lap gets their opportunity to pit. What that then allows is any cars that are not on the lead lap, they can not pit,
What is
and they will...
going?
This is a bug. This is a bug. This is a bug.
So what are we seeing here?
So effectively, this is a bug. I've seen this happen actually at this circuit before. So effectively,
I need to
what's
get back
happened?
to a Facebook comment in a sec, but yeah, what's happened?
So effectively, the leader must have been on pit lane when the caution came out. So it's trying to catch the leader, except for iRacing thinks that it's got to wave the leader past the pace car at the same time. So it's waved the whole field by again.
Are we going to go green?
No, we should extend
the
here.
pace car's just gone in.
Yeah, so it's going green.
Wow, what a mess.
Well, yeah, it's effectively what's happened is it's now given the whole field a wave around. So
But we are green flag racing.
This is an iRacing bug.
So Andrew Dyson and Dylan O'Shea have a 12-second lead on the field. Sean Hart is currently running third, 12 seconds back. This is a bug, and it is going to severely affect this race right now, I'm telling you. So Jason Fewens asks in chat, can you return to the pits at any time in this league or only with admin permission? As in, can you tow to the pits without having to ask for a tow? You can, is my understanding of it. And Lucky Dogs exist in the V8 version of Oval Racing. Yes, Fewens. Yeah, massive implication. But the whole field is slowing down here because we've got another caution. They've triggered the caution. I assume this is a admin called caution, just so we can get everyone back to where they were and get everything back to being fair again. Scotty is somewhere trying to work out what's going on, I believe. He's vanished. He's back. Scotty's back. Left me alive dry. We've got a admin called caution. I assume this is.
Yes, so this is, I just jumped down quickly because these guys were caught unaware about this, and again, it's a bug, and I happen to be lucky enough to have seen this bug happen before. So, this is a bug.
Can I quickly just bring on one very, very important thing that's come out of this? People who fuel now, theoretically, if they save enough, could get to the end with no more stops.
Yes. Which is why you're seeing O'Shea back in. Yeah, so iRacing bug, effectively, you've got a software system. The software system's trying to pick up the leader. When the software system picks up the leader, it tries to wave them by because it sees them as a lapped car, because at the time that the caution was thrown, they were the leader, and then through pit lane strategy, they're no longer the leader. Effectively, it's iRacing thinking the lead car isn't actually the leader and waving everyone else by.
Yeah, I can understand it. It was the worst possible time for the caution to come. Half the field was going into the pits at that stage, so, and half the people already had gone to the pits. So this has still thrown everything out. But
this is such a unique set of circumstances, and
is Dyson being told to go past again?
No, he's fuel saving.
Okay.
If he'd been told to go past, he'd be just accelerating past. So he's just fuel saving. So this is actually a kind of fuel saving strategy that I've heard of being used actually on the road, known as pulse.
Pulse.
So you pulse on the throttle. So you accelerate up, and then you put the clutch in, and you coast as far as you possibly can. And it's basically, it's more efficient to accelerate a long period than it is to try and hold speed, is the theory behind it.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's
Pulse and glide. Pulse and glide is the actual name of the technique.
So this tells me that he thinks he can get home. He didn't come in and get fuel. Well, that's interesting because I don't think he can.
I think he can. I really do think he can get home, but he's going to need saving.
Yeah,
Why the other cars
saving.
have pitted in this situation is that it means that they're still going to have to save, but there's a lesser risk of them running out of fuel. So it means that they can race harder. What these guys will do is they'll have a fuel number in mind. And when they hit that fuel number at specific lap numbers, that means they can push until the end. So if you come down and pit at this point in time, effectively you've got more fuel on board. You have to save less to get home. So it means you can push earlier and you can try and break away from the guys who still have to do those few extra laps of fuel saving.
So let's go through some numbers here, right? Warwick Sharp in 5th place, leading car that's stopped under this caution. Brad Fenley is another car behind him that's done that. Craig Roffey, D-Mac, has done that as well. Barry Neal, there's a whole bunch in the middle there. Then there's back to the lapped cars down. Tried to get a lap back under this admin caution. Did not come in. So that's Aaron Dillon through to Stuart Anderson. And then there's Kim Roffey has pitted. So
spicy. Justin Witcher is coming back down for another splash. I think, I actually think he might be able to go just about green from here to the end, which means no fuel saving. And Warwick Sharp's come down as well.
Yep. There's a few cars here who are definitely playing the game right now. There's 4 at the front that I don't understand what they're doing. You think that they've got enough? I don't think they've got enough.
They're playing the strategy game. They're basically saying, I'm going to put as many cars in between me and these guys who are going to try and make it as physically possible. And then I'm going to use their fuel margins and the risk involved in overtaking those cars and how aggressive they have to get to sort of play the numbers. So it's getting strategy aggressive. Now, anyone who did pit it under that most recent time by will restart behind all lapped cars. They'll restart single file on the inside line. Now, what that means is even though Justin Witcher is P18, he's got about 35 cars ahead of him, or it'd be about 30 cars ahead of him before he can actually go racing with anyone. It's less than that. It's like 20, but yeah, you sort of catch my drift.
No, I do. As we get to go again, these front 4 need to do some fuel saving, I think. So we will be interested to see how they do that from the front of the pack. But Dyson takes them away. Hart tries to go with him and tries to get pushed by Kate Donnelly.
Big checkup! Big wreck at the tail end of the field! Witcher's involved!
Oh, no. We are back under caution. This will even everything out as far as fuel strategy goes. I think you'll find everyone will come in that hasn't already. So there will be some interesting... Oh, wow, look at all these cars involved.
This is just a restart checkup. Remember, we had a whole bunch of guys who were trying to fight for track position. It's just a big check, a big stack up at the tail end of town.
So let's
have a look. You can see it forming. It's actually... Keep your eyes on the left-hand lane.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Look at
up front.
Look at the speed differentials up ahead. So it's not these guys that are going to cause the accident. It's this pack here. This is about 5 to 10 rows up ahead of Justin Witcher. So whenever you get an accordion effect, it's never the cars that are in the accident that are at fault.
He's already going.
Everyone that's ahead of them that's causing this accident. And it's never one car. It's always multiple cars. You can't have an accordion with one car. You need multiple bits of the accordion to make it play music.
Which has come up on the inside. It's the 06 in front. The 06 going around, and then he's okay. So he's actually got it punted by 91 there.
Was it Pritchard? Tom Pritchard, I believe.
Not like it's just a bad restart from everyone. Oh, the 550. That's the accordion.
He just got he's completely unsighted as Tristan Koch. He's seen a green flag.
He's going a lot quicker than everyone else at this stage because he was racing around to catch the field. So he was actually going faster than everyone in front. And you'll see
brake lights. Right now he can see one car worth of visibility. 2 cars. Now he sees a car on the fence. Oh,
and that's Wellman as well. That's been called out in that. That's some big implications.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why you do not slam your brakes on in front of a truck. Yeah. Right there.
And also, that's why you don't hang off the back and try and accelerate away and get a run. Not that that's what he's trying to do. That's just how the situation's worked out. You can see here, he guns it. It's green. He's got a big pack, and then all of a sudden, that's just stopped.
But look how little visibility he's got. He's only aware of that moments before. There's nothing Tristan could have done.
No, not at
Absolutely. Tristan is not at fault
there. You can see that all those cars just perfectly lined up to cause that accidentally. Cautions do create cautions. Yes, Justin Fewens, it does. The commentator extraordinaire in our chat watching on.
Yeah, look. And within that, there's... The league here actually has a ruling based upon cautions and the restarting procedure and what must be done right before we go back green. So at the moment that these guys go green, you must be within 2 car lengths of the car ahead. To maintain 2 car lengths ahead, that means you must be maintaining a steady speed. If you're not maintaining a steady speed, what's going to happen is that gap's going to open, gap's going to close, gap's going to open, gap's going to close, gap's going to open, gap's going to close. So difficult for you to keep within 2 car lengths when you're doing that. If you maintain a steady speed, it's much, much easier. Have a look at what Dyson's doing. Keep your eyes on the pace car here. This is what you're supposed to do in terms of the way that this is laid out. So pace car's overtaking him. So he's doing 83 kilometers an hour right now. He'll catch back up to that pace car. I think pacing speed here is 89 kilometers an hour.
This is absolutely fascinating because I can tell you now, Brad Fenley blinked. He went in and he's topped up his fuel. We've also got people like Aiden Schultz through to Troy Davison, DMAC. All these cars have also gone in yet again to top up even more fuel. Dyson, Hart, and Donnelly.
Is that a lucky dog trying to come around on the top side back there? It was coming at a rate of knots.
Maybe. But Hart, Donnelly, and Dyson have all decided to stay out. They have not blinked. They think they can get home from here.
So here's the thing. If I'm in one of these guys that's now at the tail end of the pack's picture, or if I'm in their mind, I'm coming back down. We saw 50-something laps, right? We saw 52, 53 laps, that sort of range.
Yep.
To get that far into the race, you had to fuel save. That's maximum range, maximum fuel saving. By coming back down now, again, you're just tightening those screws. You're going, yeah, I can actually run full noise. The addition, remember last caution how we said, anyone who came back down at the 1 to green marker had to restart at the end. Well, if you pitted there at before 2 to green, it means that you get shuffled ahead of all these lapped cars. So you're actually getting not only fuel back, but you're getting track position back. So Fenley blinked, and Fenley's only going to lose about 14 spots because of it. In fact, it's probably going to be less than that.
Sorry.
He lost 10. He lost 10 spots. He lost 10 spots, but he's on a much better fuel strategy now.
Definitely. I 100% agree. Look, they're holding track position up front, but those numbers just don't make sense to me. Old Sexy Eyes in chat here, he reckons he's also Kenny Sutcliffe of iRacing. That's Jason Fewens. Paul Grady, he said he's hitting the switch, the ignition switch, and clutching it. His RPM's go to 300.
Yep. So he's completely shutting the engine off. Completely shutting it off.
So it's obviously tight. He needs more. I'm not even going to say what he needs, but
he's looking. Basically, he's going, I need every single advantage that I can possibly get, and that means I'm going to use every tool at my disposal.
What's going to happen if we go green, white, checker?
He's dead in the water. There's no question. To get home from where he is, he has to save. And when you get green, white, checker, not only do you extend by the green flag laps, which is 2, you also extend the caution laps. So you've got to do more laps again.
And the odds of us going green, white, checker are huge. As Andrew Dyson takes this field away yet again, Kate Donnelly behind him this time because of Brad Fenley coming in. And they've got a good jump. Barry Neal's back up the front here. Hart's not got a very good jump here. His line has fallen way back as Roffey decides to get past him as they get very close to squeeze in the middle there.
And that's going to check up Craig Roffey, and then you're going to have a whole swarm of cars behind him that have now not had to check up. They've held their momentum.
That's Dwayne Priest in the middle there. That's a great drive from him. 777 up.
Car, big wiggle off. Car in the grass. There's a car in the grass on the front stretch. I've no idea who it was. Couldn't tell you.
He's left the server.
I don't think it was Che. I don't think it was Che because that happened before the car was in the grass.
Okay.
I mean, it might be.
he's gone. I can tell you that right now. He's not in the server right now. And he was going a lot slower than everyone else out there. That's all I've got. I'd do a replay, but everything's happening here. We're restarted.
Oh, yeah. Forget that. We'll look at that later. That's a question that needs to be answered. That's something I might need to go back and find out. You keep with it.
Okay. There you go. As we see Barry Neal at the front here, you can see there. Look at that. Dyson is sitting right behind who? Dylan O'Shea, his teammate. He is...
Che was an incident point limit.
Oh, okay. He's hit something and then gone down and been booted. Okay. That's early. Oh, no, we're 90 laps in. I keep on forgetting we're 90 laps in. Have a look at this. We're talking about this fuel strategy. Dylan O'Shea is sitting there right at the spot where Dyson needs him to be, and Dyson's just going to be sitting behind here getting the tow right now to try and get to the end. Will he have enough juice in the tank to be able to make a battle for it at the end? We'll see. But you see him. He's stuck to the back of him. It's like he's got a tow rope on him. They're in front there. Back again as they come along the side of Barry Neal. And the 06 of Ruben Phelps. Remember that man we saw pit real early in the strategy? Up there in third or fourth position right now, battling it out for the lead. And I think he is got a good chance of getting home. It's interesting. These cars at the front, Dylan O'Shea, I reckon, is definitely there. Ruben Phelps is definitely there. They can definitely get home.
You know what, Wilco? You're an absolute genius, you are. It was Che Mello.
Yeah, that's called it.
Eyes of an eagle. Eagle-eyed Wilco over here.
My 49-inch super wide screen monitor's got to be good for something. As soon as I add the 27-inch on top, I'll have all my eyes and all the stuff will be going right. So
you know what? It's good for the price tag. That's what it is good for. But what sim racing isn't good for the price tag?
Oh my god, so much money. Raven Yeager up front again. Let's have a look. Where is that man that Justin Witches left the server. He got he was in that incident. That's why he just pulled out. I thought he didn't have that much damage. Anyway.
No, he was pretty toast. He could have picked up further incident points as well that's pushed him over the threshold. Could be the other thing, or he's had to serve a penalty, heaps of damage, and just gone, yeah, nah, look, I'm good. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not having fun and things aren't going your way, and you've got, say, a long week at work that you know is coming.
O'Shea's been taking a little bit of paint off the Dwayne Priest car. Dwayne is getting very wobbly there with Wade Sheedy on the outside. And Dwayne decides to put himself in between the two Simrigs cars. Dyson is not happy with that. Dyson comes down the inside, wants to get back on his fuel lifeline of Dylan O'Shea, just slightly ahead of him. Barry Neal takes the lead of this race and holds on to it.
Worst case scenario for that inside line. Have a look at Donnelly. Donnelly is getting his elbows out. That's not uncommon for Cade, but that's a little bit more than I think Cade would be wanting to get those elbows out right about now. So he is getting aggressive. And look, Dylan O'Shea's in this really, really weird situation. Sorry, Dyson is in this weird situation. He doesn't, and nobody wants him to be in the lead of this inside group, but he can't move up and he can't get back into the fast lane. Now, maybe. No, there's still another car there. He still can't get up.
This is interesting. Like, he's going back quickly, considering.
He knows he's made a wrong call too. He absolutely knows.
He's right on the back. Right on the back. Was that Sheedy? He was pushing along. The 03 there in front.
Pretty wide.
Sheedy. Yeah, look at this. Raymond Yeager wants to get around in front. He wants to be the leading Pinnacle Esports car. So, did I just see Spencer?
Car on the apron! Car on the apron! Big wiggle up!
I don't have it. I don't have the car.
It was Dyson. It was Dyson that was on the apron. He's struggling. The whole pack is struggling.
Wonder if he took tyres real early.
Dyson?
Yeah.
Oh, look, maybe.
But yeah, no, he's not one to usually lose tyres like that. So I don't know what's going on. But he's in the middle.
Oh, car in the fence.
On the
It's
outside.
done. It's Ruben Phelps.
Oh, Ruben.
He got a huge piece of the wall. He's done.
Are you sure?
There is
Wayne
no
Sheedy
way.
is the one that
Wade
is going
Sheedy,
backwards.
sorry. I saw Ruben Phelps
No,
diving
Ruben's
on the
up front.
timesheet.
It's all good.
He's okay.
He's all good. It's Wade Sheedy, who I said was looking not out of his element, but he definitely wasn't looking comfortable in that group. Look at Kate Donnelly all over the back of Ruben Phelps right now. He's doing his best to leave his mark on the back of Ruben's car here.
Sheedy's done. Sheedy is absolutely done.
Yeah, he's backwards quick. Look at the damage down that side of that car. Not only did he hit the fence, but he ran the line of the fence for a fair while. They're coming in the pits now. There'll be damage on the front of that car.
The angle that he hit, the front right is definitely toe out. I think. Yeah, it'll be toe in. So he's done. That'll be race done. Unfortunately for Sheedy. Good run though. Like he was in with a shot.
It was a great
Very
shot.
late.
He came from last on the grid and was battling for the lead. But like I said, his car just never looked comfortable up there. It's one of those things of he had draft coming from every side, and his car was just like it was getting hitting like it was getting hit a bit in a pinball machine, but not actually getting touched. He was just kept on hitting those air pockets and moving all over the shop, just getting loose. But he's
this
going
inside line's going nowhere, Wilco. It's
No.
really not got any momentum. So I'm a little bit worried because if you have a look, Jaeger's trying to get himself down in there. Now it is going somewhere at the very front end of it, and that's where they can slot back in straight away, where they can sort of change lanes off the corner. But where they're stuck 2x2, you want to be in the outside lane. That's the lane that's moving.
Does Raymond go around here and keep this top line?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He wants to get aggressive. He wants to park it there on Shea. He'll have the momentum. He's got the longest way around the track.
Sees it coming too. Dyson's made the move on the outside. He wants to be on the outside of Priest right now. Once again, Priest is that other car that I think just moving around a little bit more than it should be. But he's doing a great job, obviously being right up there at the front. But Raymond is.
And the next car on the road,
Ooh.
we're catching lap traffic now as well. So bit of a check up in the pack, settle itself down. Now you've got Jamie Nankervis. Now you've got Steve Hall. Now you've got Todd Maxfield. These cars are just up the road from these guys. So they're starting to haul them in. This is going to shake the pack up.
Oh, look. Ruben,
Wow.
Ruben getting up nice and high where the car just on the outside of him. Such close racing. This is great to watch. We are 104. We got 30 laps to go. Can you believe it? We are.
I don't think my heart can take another 30 laps, Wilco. Can we just throw the checker?
Now I know we've had some cautions, right? Dyson's stint is 31 laps. Kay Donnelly's stint is 34 laps.
Stevie Hall. Is that Stevie Hall? I think it's Stevie Hall. No, it's not.
No,
it's
not.
somebody else.
No, Stevie Hall's up further. It's a car. That'd be Maxfield, wouldn't it? He's the one with pretty much nothing attached to his car.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing 37 lap. Like I wouldn't be out there personally.
Get off the. Yeah, it's time, Todd. You just gotta park it, mate. There's not much you can do from there.
Here we
You
go.
can't
The
gain
Sim
any
Rings
spots.
boys are back to back again. And Ruben's. Is that Ruben that's just gone away? There's two of the cars up there with the same livery. Confusing the hell out of me. Thank you, everyone.
Here we go. Here we go. Dyson's back in. So Dyson's found another gear again. So whether or not he's now good on fuel, that could be a critical factor.
It makes sense. He's gone back through the field. He's just sat there for as long as he can. He's got that number that you talked about. He's gone, right, I'm fine now. Let's go. That tells me if we go green, white, checker, he's in a lot of trouble.
But who isn't, to be perfectly honest?
There's a few cars that have pitted. There's a few cars.
The guy that he'd be talking to, remember, is Dylan Shea, right? These guys are teammates. Now, Shea pitted on lap 81. Dyson was 73. So they would be communicating, and generally one of the things that they would be saying is, I've got this much fuel. Oh, there's Cade.
And he's kept it going, though. We are green. I want to quickly...
It'll stay green. There's no chance of a caution here.
No. quickly look at that. It was hip and shoulder. Someone went into the a little bit further back.
There was just a wiggle out of the top line. I saw it coming halfway through the corner. There was somebody who was just a little bit out of the groove.
Priest, I was saying, was just a little bit more movement than he should. And yeah, there's a bit of net code there as well. But he's definitely
he's kept the wheel in it. That's what's triggered the accident. Is because he's come off the corner and instead of letting the car flow all the way up and stick at the fence, he's kept wheel into it. And when he's tight, this is something you tend to do when the front end of the car's real heavy, real sluggish, doesn't want to turn. Is you'll keep wheel into it. It's a very easy mistake to make very late onto the corner. So he is pushing really hard.
We go to the front. Raymond Jaeger is in the lead of this race. And he's got a significant little gap opened up. He's half a second ahead of the Simrigs boys. And Barry Neal's just a back further there. So whether Barry's tyres have just come off a little bit, I'm not sure. But we are coming along with 25 to go. Raymond Jaeger's doing lapped traffic. That's unfortunate for Kay Donnelly. I don't know how he was going to go for strategy, to be honest. I would have liked to have seen him see if he could get to the end. But unfortunately, we won't get the chance to see that right now. He was the person who'd been out there the longest without fueling up.
Great job. Great job, Noddy Tompkins. Have a look what he's done. He's on the apron down the backstretch, trying to get out of the way of these guys. He's recognised that a pack of angry V8s. There's about 6 of them. Steve Hall's doing a great job communicating in-race service, saying, hey guys, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be on the high line.
Yep.
Doing as much as these guys can. They've still got a race to run. They've still got to be out there. They've still got to turn laps, but they're staying away from it.
When I went to Laguna Seca and I saw cars come behind me, I just went off into the wall. It was just the quickest way. Guy Schultz is getting around Warwick Sharp here. Warwick Sharp was doing a great race.
He's still having a banger. Absolute banger.
Yeah, he's safe for fuel. I have no doubt. So you can see Jai's got a bit of wall wounds on the outside there. It's interesting. Is the other Schultz, who we said had heaps of speed before, he's making his way back up. He's just about to get past Barry Neal, who we saw had the lead not long ago, on the back of Ruben Phelps, who is a master of strategy himself, doing a great job up front there as well. Aiden Schultz is right in this.
Guarantee that Neil's tyres are going off. Either that or he's just gotten unlucky. So when the pack caught him, why have they sailed on by him? Well, they've shuffled him into an awkward lane. So they've probably gone to the higher side of Barry, and then they've got the draft support, so they're just able to pull back by him. And then there was all that traffic. So he wasn't able to draft. Normally what happens is you'll slot back in behind them, you pick up the draft, you put the car in an awkward position, you'll get them moved back. But the problem was, as Raymond Jaeger passed him, there was traffic ahead, and Raymond just stuck his nose straight in that big old hole in the air that was being punched by the lap traffic. Now he's come back to the field.
Let's watch here, Aiden Schultz. Let's go on board with him. Let's have a look as he tries to get around Ruben Phelps. His tyres, I think he went back a little way, so I think he's good for tyres right now. 20 laps to go.
He's still there. He's still there. He's still asking questions of these guys.
Yep.
One of the things about Texas that you normally see from stock car racing is it tends to become single groove and passing becomes extremely difficult. This is the opposite.
Look at him. He's right on the back. He's got a great run from Ruben. He's going to try and go around the outside. He should be able to get, if his tyres are okay, he should be able to get his foot down a lot earlier on the outside, use the banking to kick off. He's definitely a lot closer than he was last lap here. These guys, 19 to go. 19 to go. They're really playing for keeps right now. They want to be in the position. They want to have this race as an opportunity to win this, and to do that, they need to be in this position right now.
It's about track position at the right time. So what we have seen, I think I sort of started to notice it on the first set of tyres, was it did trend single file. Now, Schultz will have the draft here, but he's got to go the longest way around the track. Oh, he's not comfortable.
He's, Ruben Schultz.
And there are fine margins. If he gets down in front of Dwayne Preece, it's a fine margin. If he clears in, he gets in front of Ruben Schultz, pass done. And now he's got to set it all up, do it all over again.
There's a check up there on Ruben. That's going to help Aiden get this position. His nose, he's just got to get in front of that nose. There he is. He's done it. Well done. That is P4.
What does Barry do? So Barry's now got an opportunity here.
What will he do indeed? You can see there Dwayne's just a little bit further back off this pack now. This is where the... Oh, I'm not going to say it because anything can happen. You can see a Roffy in behind this crew as well. Craig's made his way up to this group. Another Southern Stars car, D-Mac, he's back. He's up the front here as well. This pack is starting to really... Oh, there it is. Aiden come across Ruben's front, and he's taken it this time. Got a wobble on. Let the Simrigs guys and Raymond Yeager get a bit of a lead here now. He's going to have to work hard to catch back up there. Roffy working hard, though, is getting around the side of Dwayne Priest. And as you said, Warwick Sharp doing a great job. Christopher Finlay, is it?
Darren McKenzie's going extremely slow. Something's just happened to Darren McKenzie. Would not surprise me if he's blown a tyre.
He'd smoke.
No, smoke. So he's caught the wall. He's got engine damage.
Yep. Oh, I want to quickly go back. Let's have a look. Give me that long. I don't. I won't look at this very long, guys. This is. He's already going slow at this stage.
Dwayne Priest is in the lane. Dwayne's done.
Dwayne. Oh yeah, he's just got himself up. Oh no, it's Dwayne Priest. They've come together. That's what it was. Dwayne's come up again and pushed D-Mac into the wall. So I wonder, did Dwayne stop or did he just drive through? That's a penalty.
Yellow flag's out. Yellow flag is out. So field will get frozen. Darren McKenzie's just left the service. So he's obviously not happy at all. Well, so this will cancel out any fuel strategy.
Yep, but it'll give position to those who can stay out. I'm just looking at this Dwayne Priest. I reckon that's a drive-through, not a stop.
Yep. Yeah, I think you might be right.
That's it. Incident points. Yep. 100%. That's what that was. He's hit.
So the issue for Dwayne now, I think he's managed to, luckily, he's stayed on the lead lap. So this caution was flown at the same time as Dwayne was serving that penalty. He may have been able to serve it. I don't actually know, based upon the iRacing rulings. You're not actually able to serve any penalties generally under a yellow flag. However, he's entered the pit lane. It's not his fault the yellow flag's come out as he's tried to come and serve the penalty. Given it's a drive-through penalty serves itself at the very end of the pit lane in the iRacing system. So until he actually crosses the line at the tail end of the pit lane, I don't think that penalty's served. So the issue, I think, for Dwayne is he may actually have to come back through. We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Barry Neal in. I don't know what actually caused that caution, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have it.
I don't have it either. I've got no idea. So what lap are we on?
This is 122, would have been 121, 120.
117 when it was caused.
I've got a Dwayne Priest incident, which we saw, but nothing other than that. Dwayne Priest incident wasn't enough to cause anything. No.
Oh, okay. I've just found the moment of caution. It's Stuart Anderson that's caused it.
Okay.
I think.
We've got time. I'm just trying to find Stuart.
He's just stopped coming. So there was a car that you guys saw that was trying to rejoin the racing surface from in front of the leaders. It was Stuart Anderson, and he's just parked it and towed. But I think that's what's triggered the caution.
Theoretically, that would be accurate.
Because everyone else is moving on track at that moment. So that's just bad luck. That shouldn't have triggered it, but that's what it is. So if you watch here as he rejoins the racing surface afterwards, he just pulls over and stops.
Okay.
So it's the other side of the
O2?
Darren McKenzie.
Oh, it is too. So he just appeared in pit lane. So I don't know whether he's taken a.
He's towed. He's done.
Yeah. So what did he do to tow? Did that cause?
He brought it into the pit lane first before he hopped out of the car and hopped out of the service. So that was the incident with the engine blowing up.
Yeah, it was too. Okay. So he's come out here and he's just pulled it over with cars along the outside. Okay, fair enough. That probably could be it. That's an unfortunate yet caution.
See, it's tricky from Stewart. I can't read what he was trying to do. The thing that I'm worried about is I couldn't hear an issue with the car, but that doesn't mean he hasn't necessarily had some sort of hardware failure, had a cat jump up into his lap. He was already at a point where he was probably not going to gain any more positions. So in Stewart's case, I would say what's happened is something that we're just not able to see has happened, and he's towed. The problem is where it's happened. I don't know if he's got control over that. If he has got control over that, obviously, lesson learned, don't tow there. Get it back around to the pit lane. Even if you just keep circulating on the apron's actually not too bad. The problem was he towed right in front of he was sort of halfway through the lead pack when he towed, and iRacing's picking up. There's a whole bunch of cars arriving on scene. So we've got to throw the caution.
O'Shea with his pit limiter on, and you look at, he's basically just getting pushed there by Dyson.
Is he short? Is he just that short on fuel?
I don't know. The lights were flashing at a different pace before, which usually means something different. Like that flash at the back there is something different. It felt like the pit lane limiter was on, but definitely Dyson of all people was pushing him along. He pitted, so I would hazard a guess that he's not short, but every little bit you can save means more you can burn while you're racing. This is fascinating. Once again, we got 10 to go. We're about to go green, and I don't know what's going to happen here. We've got 2 sim rigs and a Pinnacle Esport here ready to fight it out. Don't count off Ruben Phelps. Definitely don't count off Aiden Schultz, and Craig Roffey and Warwick Sharp done a great job to get back to where they are. Ooh. You want to make a call yet, Scotty? I think Scotty's left me again.
Sorry, I'd love to see Ray put one away. I just had to listen. O'Shea had his engine shut off, and he was getting that shoved by Dyson. That's how critical his fuel is. You know what? Ruben Phelps. I want to see Ruben Phelps win one.
Yep. Here we go as the team goes racing yet again. Start from Raymond Yeager. Dylan O'Shea tries to get down, but can't quite. He's got a good start, and he's going to try and take that top line and get Andrew Dyson to push him around. You can see, though, he really wants to get him behind and just... He's got 9 laps now. He just needs
Here we go.
Nope, he's going to be pushed, and he's getting a big push. That is a huge push around. That's what you call bump drafting right there. And I don't think Raymond Yeager's too upset about that, to be honest. With 9 to go,
here's the thing, Wilco. As the leader, you're most vulnerable in the restart. Why? Because as you're accelerating up, if you get too good of a jump, you get too far out, you get to give those guys a huge draft. But he's got the bottom lane back.
They're into each other.
He's got the bottom lane back. O'Shea's had to check up from the top lane. This is tough. This is very tough.
4 wide into the corner. Because
and
what happened
money
then?
On the right hand.
What happened then? Yeager and O'Shea came together and almost took, because of how much Dyson is bump drafting, O'Shea almost took out both of the Simrig boys in one hit. But yes, as you said, you've put your money on Phelps. Phelps is in the front and got control of this race. Has fuel to burn, as they say.
Stick it to the bottom of the track here, Ruben. Don't give them the bottom lane. And that's what he's doing. Yellow.
We're yellow, and we've got a Sean Hart going slow and on his roof. That's how slow he is going. Let's have a look back here. Oh, that's just robbed us. That's robbed us of an epic finish. I know we've still got one coming, but that was...
Oh, well. Now where do you want to be?
Oh, I don't know. I need to have a look at this. Let me have a look. There's some Simboys cars involved here. Let's go to Chopper.
I think Barry Neal's just run out of tyre.
No, there's the 13 gets wobbly, gets hit by Hart. The 13 is
Aaron Dillon.
And they've just come into each other. That's a little bit of wobble from Dillon and just no time to react. And what's caused that his cars got stuck into the pixels of the wall and stopped him dead and put him on his roof. So Dillon did.
We are so close to going to a green white checker here. We only get one attempt. We only get one attempt.
We will get this and then a green-white checker, theoretically. That's it. That's all that happened. Only one car involved in that. No ricochet back onto the road because of getting caught in the pixels, and Dylan was able to save it. Oh, O'Shea's in front. 91 gets the lucky dog.
Peter Jones.
Oh, Ruben Phelps will get the outside. Raymond Yeager will be behind him. Dylan O'Shea will, Ruben Phelps will have Andrew Dyson behind him. Any fuel concerns, both A, go out the window right now, and B, come back to haunt a few people. If we have like that green-white checker, I think there's some trouble.
And have a look at this as well. In terms of the way the teammates are set up here, they're set up opposite each other.
They can't help each other.
No, so I mean they're gonna talk through this. These guys work together. In terms of things, up until now, we've seen the Pinnacle guys really set the standard for how well you work with each other and you work strategies out. Then in terms of the draft pack scenario, I think the Sim Boys, that's their real strength, is the draft pack. They know how to work together with the aero. They know how to give each other the best bump drafts. They're generally the strongest at that sort of style racing. Now, you've got O'Shea and you've got Dyson showing up, and these guys are putting on a masterclass. It is the hardest thing to do, is to get a good bump draft and maintain contact for an extended period of time. And the problem is, they're not hooked up.
Nope.
They can't. They've got to get this thing sorted out. Do they jump early? Or if they jump early, Dylan O'Shea gets too far out, Raymond Yeager, Ruben Phelps is going to have him. One of the two. It depends on how good their jumps are. The other problem is, if he doesn't get a good jump and he doesn't get hooked up, well, he's going to be vulnerable anyway.
Yep. They're going to be battling so much to get behind each other, but they're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 other cars. By the time they actually, if anything happens at the study, they could have 6 or 7 cars around them trying to get in front of this race. And once you get in front with 3 or 4 wide, A, everything's going to fall apart, or B, you're not going to get back past them anyway. So, whew.
So here's the thing. Do you sacrifice O'Shea to net Dyson the win? Because they don't care. They just want one of them, right? They really don't care who wins it. They just want to win one of their drivers win it. And with the way the restarts work, it might be the way to go. But you've got to set that up. You've got to get the draft where you need that draft to be. Everyone around them will be looking at the liveries. They'll know exactly what the plan is. So now you've got problems. How do you game this system? Oh,
they've got to work it out. They've only got 4 laps to do this. What a race yet again. O'Shea tries to spin the pace car to help him out, but he can't quite get it happening. Aiden Schultz just sitting behind there, nice and quietly. What a night he's had. But Ruben Phelps, one of those nights as well.
So what O'Shea's actually doing here is obviously warming the tyres up. You can see that, but he's actually practice launching. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to feel for grip limitations at the rear end of the car. Spinning tyres in front of the field, you just feel silly. You feel like a royal twit. But B, well, I mean, you throw away the race win effectively. So that's what he's, a little bit of tire warming, a little bit of learning it. He wants to get those pressures up as much as he possibly can. I mean, this is one of the best ways to set yourself up. I quite regularly do this under caution in stock cars, which are a little bit more grip limited in the rear. It's a good way to understand on older tires how much grip you've actually got. You just back yourself up a little bit from the car ahead, set yourself up at pacing speed, launch. How did that feel? What adjustments do I need to make? Perhaps is it a different gear selection that's the way to go?
Yeah, definitely. It's well, there's a car flashing in there. I don't like that. But Sim Boys, look at them all. They're flying around there. That's the 5. That's Andy Barber flashing yet again. What do you do if you're Aiden Schultz? You know that at some stage Dyson's going to try and get down in front of you, right?
You got to shove the nose there.
O'Shea's probably going to go high, which is going to leave Raymond out in front. That you can push through.
Craig Ruffy, you just follow Dyson. You don't need to do anything. You let him pull you through.
There's so much can happen as the pace car drops down. 4 laps.
3 laps.
3 laps once we go green. Shea's got this. Look at Dyson getting down. He's already got half a nose in there. And
They
they're
got
off.
a good launch. And have a look. Have a look at Ruffy. Ruffy got an insane launch there. He got a great start. And the
Neil
cars on
as
the
well.
outside didn't.
So
Oh, no.
But
Great
Neil's-
save, Warwick Sharp.
Neil's
This will be a
almost-
yellow.
Yes, it is. And that's a whole heap of cars now since the original incident. Let's have a look. Let's go back instant replay. This is not good. Green white checker. Have they got enough fuel? So Barry Neal's come together with Warwick Sharp, who's then taken out. That's Troy Davison, but Troy Davison survived.
Now,
But the problem is actually further up the field. Something else happens further up here.
no. It's all triggered by these guys. Everyone else is just trying to go for an open lane. It's Barry Neal spins in the infield. Troy
There you
Davison,
go.
I believe, tags the back end of him.
13.
Everyone's trying to scatter. Everyone's just looking for their space.
The 013 just up ahead of that. Where is it? 013 Aaron Dillon yet again has hit Dwayne Priest. You see Dwayne Priest's car not looking the best of position right there. So that's come off when this has happened. So they've come into each other, which has then put Jaeger. No, that's Priest, and that's really what's caused everything from there on. That's a Roffy in there. That's Finlay. That is Spencer with less car than he usually should have. Finlay, that's Neil's been done in it again. How did Neil get hit a second time in that? It's the Finlay ricochet.
He didn't.
Yeah,
He's actually okay.
No, he's
He's
come back
actually not
up.
too bad.
Yeah, he's. You watch this, the car just comes down from in front of him, and he didn't actually get hit.
No, I think he just locked his brakes.
Yeah, he did too. That's a great save.
Wow.
I think his tail's hit. But then,
Oh, come on, guys. We're better than that.
so I reckon you'll see Finlay come in for a drive-through penalty. That will be for instant limits. He's just got, I reckon, 8 points in that little instance just there. There will be a few more people that are right on the bubble of either 12 or 17 right now.
So this all stems from the fact that O'Shea held them and held them and held them and held them and held them. And there was actually about 5 guys from about 8th place backwards that got a little bit antsy with their throttle, tried to go because they thought they saw a car just ahead of them go. And they've tried to go, and then all of a sudden they've had to check up. So we've ended up with this accordion effect, and everyone's scattering. We've ended up 4 wide going through turn 1.
So the question, the $50 million question: does O'Shea, do they have enough fuel?
We've had enough safety car laps that I think we have.
61 laps since Dyson pitted last.
Yeah, but we've also done about 20 laps under caution.
I know, but we're about to do another 2 or 3 under caution, aren't we, for the green light checker?
Yeah.
Look at him. He's inside the pace car. He can't get any closer to it. Him and the pace car are as one. Oh. So now you've got O'Shea with Schultz behind him, Jaeger up top with Phelps behind him. You can see Dyson just wants to overtake Schultz now and help his mate out, but he can't quite do that yet.
O'Shea's watching the stream. He's heard us talking about those headlights. He's flashing them now.
Hello, O'Shea. Yeah, you've got Schultz and Schultz. Schultz, Phelps, Schultz. No, Guy Schultz is a bit further back than that. It won't be on the outside, although it looks like he is right now.
Well, now Aiden Schultz is sitting in the money seat.
Yeah, I reckon 100%. Raymond Jaeger's in a great spot as well, but
I think there's a bit of history actually between Ruben Phelps and Aiden Schultz. I'm pretty sure they're not big fans of each other. I think. Don't quote me on. I just have this sneaky suspicion. I've heard something that they don't like each other.
You're starting beef when there's no beef. I can't believe it.
Oh, well, look. This is like a third-hand whisper is what I remember. But this may have happened in one race ages back, and they've gotten over it since then. I mean, it depends how much you hold beef with anyone. But then again, if you're racing these guys in, week out, there's a level of beef that you kind of need to accept. and then it crosses some line. So whether or not it was one of those weeks, and I think it may have been a short track somewhere like Martinsville, and they just got together and they were really not happy with each other. And a lot of people will just shake off Martinsville week and they'll just go about their business. So it could have been, I have a stinking feeling it might have been one of those weeks. So might be okay.
Might be, maybe. Just so you know, let's go back to it. 15 cars are still on the lead lap, still in the battle for this race win or at least a podium. 15 cars are still there. 16th is Kim Roffey and
Chat,
Troy
who do you want to see
Martinson.
win this thing?
Yeah, who do you want to see, chat? We got not long to get your answers in. Troy Mortensen and as I say there, Kim Roffey are a lap down, and then the rest are 2 or more laps down. Look at those cars. Spencer's car looks terrible.
Oh, I just saw that.
And he is one of the cars on the lead lap. This is the kind of thing you're going to have car in the middle there. It's going to have no power off the start, and people behind him are going to get checked up. We could have a yellow straight away. This could be it. Whoever gets the jump, which probably be O'Shea, could be it. Insta kills
right
is saying
now,
O'Shea is the winner.
Right now, Jaeger's got to start. Remember, you've got to launch from behind the leader, but you want to be as close to him as you possibly can. And Raymond Jaeger is doing his best impersonation right now. O'Shea's gone. He was holding them up, holding them. Spencer's real slow in that mid-pack, so that outside lane, he's just got to hold the middle of the track and see what he can do. I think his engine's gone.
That's going to be a problem. We can't have a yellow here, otherwise race over. That is it. This is it.
He's still going. The field's cleared him. He's good.
Now, O'Shea's got too good a jump. These cars are going to come right back at him. Dyson's up in position here. He's pushing.
Oh, look at the big crisscross. Look at the big crisscross. I think that's Ruben Phelps who's tried to shove the nose in. It's underneath Aiden Schultz. And here comes Raymond Jaeger.
And
down
Dyson.
to the outside. Now the teammates. The teammates have got together. The huge run to the top side. Has he got the run from the top step? No, not quite. Not quite.
Phelps.
They've not quite got ahead. Phelps gets tagged.
Dyson
Phelps
sideways.
tags the rear bumper of Dyson.
Big
They're going to try and race it back. Huge wreck in the background. Right now it's O'Shea. O'Shea versus Jaeger, and it's Dylan O'Shea that's leading it on the way into turn number 3. Short stretch to the line. Here comes Raymond Jaeger. Fades left, fades right. Time's running out. It's half a car length in it, but Dylan always had it when you enter turn 3 and you're that far ahead. Well done to him. The rest of the field scatters. Dyson will get back to the flag in P3. I don't know how with how sideways he was. Troy Davison recovers for another season continuation of his strong performances. And ladies and gentlemen, the Hot Toddies replay will tell all. Well, if there's somebody that's going to be a hot toddy, might be Aiden Schultz after this.
So there it is. It's Phelps, Roffey come together. But it's Andy Barber has come into... Where's Barber?
And you know what? Dyson actually helped Raymond Jaeger on that last lap because he shoved O'Shea out.
Let's have a look here. So Ruben Phelps has got that wiggle that we talked about. There was between him and Schultz in the end, and Dyson's going very sideways in front, but he's come down and hit Andy Barber, who was going to try and take that podium spot out. Roffey's got nowhere to go. Tries to go high. Schultz is there. Roffey goes to the back of Phelps. There's not much he can do about it, which goes up into one Aiden Schultz.
Oh, bugger. Brad Fenley nearly got through that.
So had Warwick Sharp too. Basically, the pinball machine of Roffey and Barber has tried to take everyone else out. Look at the man, Troy Davison. The C's are going to part here.
No.
The C's are going to part.
No.
How does
Troy.
he? He goes underneath the back of Andy Barber's car.
Mate, I tell you what, if there's one man that's having a season to remember, it's Troy Davison.
Oh, let's have a look from him. Barry Neal's pushed him the whole way through this. Let's go on board.
At this point in time, he's nowhere. He is absolutely nowhere. He's like 10th.
10th to 12th, and he's watching the whole pack here. You see Ruben Phelps, Schultz, and Phelps and Schultz are on their roof. The other Schultz is going sideways, spinning around. He just misses the front of him. And then he's got Warwick Sharp, Brad Fenley, Andy Barber, and Roffey. Okay, cool. I've missed Fenley and Roffey here. I'll just come in. I'll go down. Oh, hold on. Roffey is hit Barber. He has just gone underneath his car. And then we've come on to, I'm fourth. There we go.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That is one way to finish a race.
Just because everything's bigger in Texas and it's 4th of July week in the United States of America doesn't mean you need to blow the fireworks 1 lap early. 1 lap later, lads.
I've got to hide this. I've got to go back to live. Got to go to O'Shea, who is finished doing his little spinnies. Probably has no fuel left, to be honest. Let's go to the results. Let's hide that person. And we're going to have to try and get some people up here to have a chat to in a sec.
They're coming. They're making their way. They're organising themselves.
I know they are, but let's go. Dylan O'Shea takes this win over Raymond Yeager, Andrew Dyson in 3rd, Troy Davison, we just saw, the miracle of 4th, Barry Neal 5th, Craig Roffey 6th. I think Barry Neal, we wrote him off there that last caution. Andy Barber in 7th, Tim Blundell in 8th, Peter Jones. What a ride from him, up into 9th. Great job there. Brad Fenley 10th, Jai Schultz in 11th, Aiden Schultz unfortunately 12th after a really good race tonight. Warwick Sharp also a really good race but unlucky 13th. Then we go Kim Roffey, Troy Mortensen, Greg Spencer, Ruben Phelps, Ash Nessa, Adam Malone, Brett Campbell down to 20th, Jamie Nankervis in 21st, Christopher Finlay in 22nd, Aaron Bryan 23rd, Aaron Dillon, who just did not have a good night tonight, unfortunately in 24th. Dwayne Priest, who was doing such a good job until he ran into a bit of trouble, 25th. Sean Hart, 26th. Alan Gill got caught up in that accident, 27th. Noddy Tompkins, 28th. Tristan Cock in 29th. Darren McKenzie had an unfortunate one as well, but did a really good race in 30th. That's where I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to hide these results. I'm going to quickly go to one that I prepared. No, if I do this. That one. Then you can hear us talk. I haven't set up the other one properly yet. So let's get some people ready. Andrew Dyson's here with us. Scotty, take it away. Have a talk to Andrew Dyson.
You've got your hands full. You've got your hands full. Another man who had his hands full, Andrew Dyson. You had an absolute handful trying to get that car with enough fuel to splash itself over the line. You had the bumper music of Dylan O'Shea pushing you around for a few laps under caution. You had the car switched off for an extended period of time. That much we did know about. Yeah. And then it erupted into a melee shortly thereafter. Pit lane strategy. The cautions shortly after the pit lane strategy. Obviously, iRacing bugs came into play and effect tonight, and that really threw the cat amongst the pigeons, but we didn't know exactly how much. What were you thinking in terms of fuel strategy whilst all those cautions were unfolding?
Well, I knew the way to make it home was basically to pit on the second one, and everyone would have made it. Or you could pit late under the first one that came along, and you'd make it home. Although you'd start from the back, probably not too bad, but you'd still make it home. I decided to risk it and stay out. Dylan obviously did the opposite, and I had to save fuel the whole way, so it was pretty touch and go. If all those yellows didn't come up, I basically wouldn't have made it, and it was good.
What I'm hearing is you apparently had a few oily rags left lying around the pit bay. They've now all been burned up, and we should expect you to try and save a few extra oily rags over the next few races that you compete in.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't get confused and clean the windscreen with them, though, because I won't see anything.
Mate, look, an interesting battle. Obviously, you guys were bump drafting quite aggressively there in the middle. It was all about bobbling for track position. You had to find yourself getting to that outside lane, coming off of turn 2 so that you had the draft support. It was all over the place, all out melee. It was an absolute banger.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just playing the draft game. If you were trying to make some moves and you wanted to move forward, you had to follow the cars in front. And if you were out of position because you're on the inside lane and the draft was on the outside lane, then you were going to go backwards. So it was pretty tough. But that's the fun of these races, man.
Look, I mean, you've shown up for 2 of them. You've shown up on the podium for 2 of them. Are you going to make this a more regular thing at this rate? Because it seems like you're having an absolute blast here on Sunday nights.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, it's awesome fun, man. Like it's like we were just chatting to Sam. It's pretty much like super speedway racing every time you come out here. So it's good practice for that, for one thing. And the second part of it is just awesome racing as well. And the real spanner in the works is the one tire thing, like the one set of tires you can change through. That's really cool. It really makes it pretty interesting.
Yeah, look, well, I mean, one of the things you don't get to practice at super speedway racings is saving tyres. Let's actually talk about tyres so far this evening. It looked like there was a fair few guys in that opening stanza before we got that lap 17 caution that did opt to save a little bit of tyres, and those guys sort of seemed to come on strong. Or was it more of a game of you sort of had to exactly figure out where the play in the car was? The tyres, they looked like they were an important part, and then we kind of lost that a little bit amongst the cautions as well.
Yeah, I think the tyres probably weren't as important as they were other weeks, which is a good thing because I accidentally took tyres on lap 17, so I didn't really want to do that. So I had to make sure I saved them as much as I could. And I knew a lot of other cars around me were going to have fresh tyres, which they all did at the end of the race, and you could see they had so much more mid-corner speed than me in turn 1 and 2 that we saw what happened. But yeah, no one's fault there. It's just the way it goes.
Look, so what I've heard from you now is, yes, you've been kissed by the fuel gods. Now you've been kissed by the tyre gods. What gods are there left to pray to?
Gee, I don't know. What else is there? The fast repair gods? I don't know, man.
Oh, well, we don't get any of those in here, but there is a thunder strike, a lightning strike does cancel races in the States if it's within 5 miles of the circuit, 5 or 10 miles of the circuit. So is that next? You just call Thor?
Yeah, sure. If I need it. If I'm running low on fuel, I'll just ring him up. Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, are you available? We need a little bit of help, mate. Look, another banger. The Simregs entry looked fantastic out there, and you got to have a fair bit of fun with Raymond Yeager, Aidan Schultz, Craig Roffey, the whole cast of thousands that was in that top pack, and your opportunity to say thank you not only probably to your competitors after that one, but also the sponsors.
Yeah, man, there's too many names to think of when it comes to the racing tonight. The amount of cars that I was door to door with and nose to tail with, but props to all the guys tonight. For the most part, it was a super clean race, and that's what makes it so much fun. Shout out to you guys who put the broadcast on and yell at the cars going around circles. And just a quick shout out to simrings.com and South Willis and Hoist, Ben Max Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers and MP Designs for the cool paint jobs.
All right. We had a banger of a race, so that was a banger of an interview. On to the next one, Wilco. We'll see you next week, though. So, well, probably not next week. What, 2 weeks' time now?
It depends on what's on next week, but yeah, I'll jump in whenever I can. And I should say thanks to the guys that organised the whole thing as well. It's really cool.
All right. Thanks a bunch, Dice. You have a great weekend, mate. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
Righto. He didn't win the race, but I think he had probably the second most fun. Raymond Yeager will be making his way into the commentary books. The man with the number 1 on his car was precisely 1 step lower on the podium than maybe he would have liked to, but it was a banging race all the same.
Yeah, it was a cracker, wasn't it? Bloody hell. Those cautions at the end certainly made it pretty spicy up the front, so glad to just get to the end, actually.
We don't often see the green-white checkers play into things here. For those of you at home, that last caution, once it does come out, that's it, race is over. So once we go into green-white checkers, once we go into NASCAR overtime, as it is colloquially referred to as, it's all about getting to the front at the time that caution comes out. Did you have in the back of your mind, I've got to be leading this thing?
Well, that was what I was thinking anyway, yeah, because, I wanted to win. So I was trying to get to the front. I messed up qualifying real bad, so I had a lot of work to do all night. And the whole night was just, thought process was, I got to get to the front. And we went pretty close.
Wilco, I know you had something there, mate. Your chance.
I want to talk to Raymond Yeager about Justin Witcher. He had obviously a crash mid-race. What was the go? Him and Greg were both on different strategies to you. Was that a thing from the start that you guys had planned on?
Honestly, tonight there was not a lot of communication about strategy. So I don't really know what those boys were doing. Me and Greg were sort of on a similar strategy. He just wasn't quite as quick as me tonight, so it didn't look like it was the same strategy. Justin was doing something else. I don't know what exactly, so I can't really help you out, unfortunately.
That's okay. How were you going for fuel at the end? Were you concerned at all, or did you stop and grab enough when you could?
No, I was good. I had even before those cautions at the end, I was good for a green white checker anyway. So, I think it was the third to last caution before that bunch at the end. I pitted every time under caution just to because I thought at that point we could actually make it home just about. As it turned out, it didn't matter because a million cautions at the end. So
Now, you got yourself to the front. You had the green white checker to come. Before that, even you were watching Simrig boys around you everywhere. Well, the two of them that were definitely working well together. Was there a strategy to try and break them up at the end there, or was it always just going to be try and beat them on their own terms?
Look, they've got this car and track combos figured out, man. They're really, really fast. I didn't think I was going to have any chance of separating them, although Daiso just told me in the green room that he took his tyres too early, so he was actually on old tyres at the end there, so that helped us out a bit, so he couldn't actually be on Dylan's bumper. But yeah, I thought I'd messed up any chance of winning in turn one on the last lap. I really messed it up. I went in way too hot and I pushed up way high, but like all the things went on behind me and I got a massive run in the draft of Dylan and just couldn't quite pip him on the line, unfortunately.
Yeah, I actually looked at that and went, oh, yeah, he's doing this intentionally because, to be perfectly honest, again, obviously different backgrounds, IndyCar background, to win it, you have to back up and you have to get enough of a draft to slingshot past the car. So we'll add that to the list of tools that Raymond Yeager's actually got in his arsenal from next week onwards. But, mate, melee, pack racing, starting from the rear of the field, I think you had your hands just about full with absolutely everything. iRacing bugs. We'll add that to the list of things you had to deal with tonight.
Oh, man. Yeah, like I said before, she was a hectic night. As I said, I messed up in qualifying really, really bad. I started, I think, 40th. So there, it's starting at the back of a big field is built with its own dangers. So I had to try and navigate through to the front half as quick as I could without hurting the car, without hurting the tyres. That wasn't easy, but we got through. Then once you're in sort of the top 15 here, you've just got to go balls to the wall, mate, because like anyone in the top 15 can win the race. Like probably more than the top 15, to be honest. But yeah, you just got to go. And I mean, I was around Barry for a lot of the race, and that's usually a good idea. So yeah, he's pretty good around in these things. So I stuck with him a bit and tried to look after my tyres and stuff as much as I could. But again, it was still the focus was get to the front. And like I said, we fell one step short of where we wanted, but second's pretty good.
Look, I think you had probably more fun finishing second than look, if you got to the front, you'd led every lap of the way. Oh, that's not really exciting. This was exciting. This was just good old-fashioned Sunday night racing.
Oh, far out, man. I don't know if exciting is the right word.
We'll send you in for a heart test this week.
Yeah, mate. She wasn't good for the heart at times, that's for sure. There were a few sketchy moments, especially like directly after the cautions. The tyres obviously cooled down, and the first lap or two was really, really loose. And there were a couple of moments where I thought someone was going to get spin into me, and one time I nearly spun. It was she was a pretty fun night, but you wouldn't want to do it too often.
Mate, if you want a wild ride, go have a look at Troy Davison's last lap. That's that is something. He started the last lap, I think 12th, and he come away with a 4th. So look, congratulations, Raymond, to you and all the boys, obviously, and hotter form at the moment than Hot Toddies. That's for sure, mate. Your opportunity to thank those sponsors.
Yeah, I'd rather not go watch Troy's last lap. I was hoping he'd stay. I was hoping he'd stay down 12th and gain some points on him. But yeah, look,
Every other car in the field tried to make him go back there, but he's
every single one, mate. Every single one had to go.
he's in some rich form at the moment, mate. He just can keep putting the car where he wants, and he gets through those things. And he's a great driver.
Yeah, he can't go around it. Couldn't go through it. He went under it.
Yeah, mate. He's just, as I said, he's in that place at the moment, in that zone, and he's just, yeah. As I said, whenever I think I'm going to get a few points, finish second or third, he's always like fourth or fifth, and it's like you only gain 2 points. And it's like, but yeah. Anyway, sponsors. Want to thank the team sponsors, which are Electrics and Sim Racing Edge. Fantastic work for them. League sponsors. My Private Seller, main sponsor. Huge financial backing. Really appreciate everything they do for us. You guys do an amazing job every week. So Locked On Lads TV really have helped us elevate the series this year, which has been fantastic. Then we've got United Electrical Solutions as well, Hot Toddy's Heating Installs, the Sim Racing Edge, who provide some setups to some of the race winners in the Triple Crown, Pagny Advanced Simulation, and Witcher Electrics as well. So thanks to all of those, make things a lot easier on myself. And once again, thank you guys for doing what you do every week.
Look. To be perfectly honest, I think you've got to be crazy not to be a sponsor of this series, because there's 134 laps. Well, you take away the cautions and every other lap is packed full of action. That is certainly for sure. This is probably the most exciting series we get the opportunity to broadcast. Thanks for having us on board, Raymond. You go off and you celebrate. Enjoy your Sunday night. I think you've got a post-race show to run, so we'll leave you with that.
Cheers, guys. Yep.
And finally, Wilco, the man of the hour, the man who, well, he thought he had a teammate that was going to be on there alongside him on the podium, and half a lap he didn't think he was going to have a teammate alongside him on the podium, but he is still alongside him on the podium. Dylan O'Shea, teammate to Andrew Dyson. Can I say I think you had an absolute gangbusters race, a whole bunch of fun, and I don't think there's a better way on the internet to spend a Sunday night.
Bang on, mate. That was an awesome race. Especially those last 10 laps, with all the pace cars. Definitely made for an interesting finish.
We've gone door to door a couple one night this week, so you've actually had some pretty good finishes. That was in IndyCars, I think it was one of the other nights. We won't say the name of that series, but so it's been a pretty bang on. You've had sort of a cracker week on the ovals. Yeah,
not bad. Came, I think, what did I come? P4 and Weekend Warriors. I don't know, but yeah, not bad.
So, mate, everything's bigger in Texas. The real question, bigger, badder, and better in a V8 supercar, stock cars, or Indy cars?
Well, mate, hard to go past supercar with the P1. So I'll stick with that, mate.
Talk to us a little bit about your race. We obviously talked to Daiso. He said, look, I need to be kinder on rubber and not take it so early on the race. Your strategy a lot more clean, a lot more of the old standardized tyre strategy. Fuel strategy, you went the opposite direction to the teammate. He needed a little bit of help throughout the duration of the race. Is it difficult for him to ask, mate, can I just get a bit of a push? You've got more fuel than I have.
I'm pretty sure he pushed me. We were just mucking around, having a bit of fun, and yeah, may as well take advantage of it while I can, saving the fuel.
It was bang up, door-to-door racing. You guys nobody had a grip on this thing all night long. It's about timing your run to front. It's about getting to the front at the optimal moment. And then apparently it's about getting 3 good restarts in a row to close the thing out. Nerves of steel, nerves a little bit frayed after that. How's the heart rate?
Oh yeah, pretty high. I had no idea what I was doing on the restarts. I was even lucky to get to the lead on one of the restarts, getting past Ruben. Like, I just had a nose in front of him at I think it was in 3 when the caution was called, and that kind of just set me up, keep me out of trouble from the cautions, and just go when I wanted to. And I guess that worked. Didn't really know what to do, but yeah, just held it.
Well, you're up front, had a good battle. Obviously, didn't get mired too far back in the pack. Sort of hung in and around that top group all night long. Did you have a feeling it was probably going to be another podium at any stage? When do you know you sort of knew what you needed to do to get to the front?
I mean, with a record 3 from 3, I'm pretty confident that I can get to the podium at least, mate.
Yeah. How many
Yeah,
steps are there between the bottom and the top again? I don't know. I get lost up there. Where is it?
Only one step for me, mate. Straight to the top, buddy.
Oh, mate, another bang up race. I mean, talk to us about the drafting strategies, because obviously there was a few moments there with you and Daiso hooked up quite closely together. How's the communication between you guys as a team?
Oh, mate, he almost fenced me a few times. I was getting bloody scared, you know. Seriously, he's pushed me into the corner. I'm like, back off, mate. Like, serious, man. Like, I get it, mate. You want to try and get past me at some point, but brother, no need to wreck me, mate. I was pretty disappointed in him.
Race me for it, Daiso. Come on, don't fence me.
No. He can push me, right? Like, yeah, I'll take a push, but don't push me in the middle of the corner, mate. Just rookie stripes, honestly.
So the education is still slowly filtering it down to Daiso.
Yeah, Daiso's a bit out of sync, but hey, got a P3 still, so still proud of the big bloke.
Look, at this stage, how's the team management going? Because, well, I mean, by the sounds of things, we need a Mattia Bonotto in there at the moment with how much he's got his hands full at Ferrari. Is that sort of a dynamic going on?
Oh, mate, we're we're in sync, I reckon. Well, he's pushing me, so we're in good sync.
Yeah, okay. Look, he gave you a shot.
To be fair, he did well. Not trying to wreck us both, somewhat, but at least he was helping me keep the lead there.
Mate, you are on a good old hot toddies run of form at this stage. Another P1
Could get any better.
For the 0-1. Look, you could have been the pace car. That's about the only way you could have been.
It was the pace car for half of the
Yeah, exactly, mate. Come on, bro.
Dylan O'Shea, your opportunity to thank everyone that makes it possible for you, mate.
Got to thank the blokes running this series. Yeah, obviously it's a cracking series. Only raced it 3 times, but loving it already. You blokes locked on lads putting on the broadcast. It's good watching back all the dubs, and just the simrigs.com, Southwell Lifton Hoist, Benmax Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, and NP Designs. Cheers.
Mate, the only other question I have for you, where do I buy me a big old bottle of that Dylan O'Shea Confidence? Is that served somewhere?
Oh, mate, you just got to earn it, mate. Just got to be a big dog.
Righto.
3 from 3, mate. Speaks for itself.
Is there coaching services on offer? Where do I find you?
Nah, it's just natural ability, mate.
Dylan O'Shea, ladies and gentlemen. Another finish, another top step for the podium. He'll be back in weeks to come. You can be sure of that. Thanks, Dylan.
Cheers, mate.
Wilco.
Yes.
Is it impossible for this series to deliver? Because I'm starting. What are we like halfway through the season?
Last week it didn't. When we had no power to show it to you all. I'm sure it was a great race, but I couldn't see it.
So what I'm hearing is it takes an accident that knocks out your electricity and your ability to broadcast is the only way that this thing cannot be put on as a show.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. I'm glad the boys go back and watch it. We need to stop making so much drama out of the fact that they're pushing each other under safety car. I think they're just mucking around, and we know that for the future. We will just from now on go, okay, that's just the boys mucking around. They're fine for fuel. Although Dyson seemed that was 65 laps he did. Obviously, there was about 55 cautions in there, but still, that was a great effort to get home on that.
Yeah, look. Let's not even ask about the tyres.
I can tell you what, it's a strategy call. It's not
planned.
It could have gone wrong, but yeah, the tyres, yeah, obviously. We've all done that mistake before.
No, mate. Every minute of that was planned by Daiso. He knew exactly what he was doing from the moment he rolled off the track. I'm going to take my tyres lap 17. We're going to have a fuel stop early. We're going to make it home on the smell of an oily rag. We're gold. Don't worry about it. Daiso's got it.
That's it. So, look, the series is hotting up. We are hot toddying it through to round 10 next week. We go to Atlanta Motor Speedway for another 130 laps of chaos. What do you expect out of Atlanta?
First and foremost, I need to confirm
Probably Dylan O'Shea winning.
Which version of Atlanta it is, because Atlanta's actually just received an update on the iRacing service.
Oh, it did, because it didn't have lights before, and we found that in Anne's car when we put a sunset race on that had no lights.
it's the new Super Speedway configuration. So, I mean, we've got to do some digging to find out if that's the configuration that we're
Yes.
actually going to be racing at it next season. So keep your eyes peeled on all Australasian Supercars eSeries social media for that one. These guys are off to do a post-race show. They're going to break down every incident as you saw it, and they're going to give you insight into A, how did the accident happen, B, who's at fault, C, where the penalty gets applied, and D, how much damn well fun did we have. So you can grab all of that over on the Australasian Supercars eSeries Facebook page. Mate, I think you've got a charity week hooked up here in the next couple of weeks. I was seeing a whole bunch of graphics, and I'm like, oh, I need to watch that. Oh, I need to watch that. Can you tell me some more?
So look, we got the artwork this afternoon. I just set up the webpage today. So lockedonlads.com/charity. We are raising money for Cure Cancer. There was a bigger week planned. Unfortunately, my life is still hell, so we're going to shorten it down a little bit. But the main thing is we're doing the Spa 24-hour race in the BMW GT3. So the team is competing on the Saturday, the 8 a.m. session. So we'll be racing for 24 hours for charity. But we're going to make a bit more of a week of it. So it's going to start with the ANSCAR Thunder Series on the 20th of July. We'll start pushing it then. We're going to be sponsoring that event with the Cure Cancer charity drive, and we'll go through to my race. This is going to be hilarious. V8 Vets split 3, the bottom split, the slowest of the slow, and you can watch me run around at the back of that field on Thursday night, the 21st of July, make a fool of myself. Then on the 22nd, on the Friday night, we're going to do our final practice session. As a team, we're just going to go in and do some laps of Spa, have a bit of fun, sort of hopefully probably get some nerves and also get rid of some nerves, just have a bit of fun as a team. But you'll be happy to join us for that stream for the final practice. And then 8 a.m. or the stream will start about 7:30 a.m. Saturday morning, the 23rd, and we will race for 24 hours, locked on racing through till Sunday morning. 8:30ish we'll finish up on that race, and then back it up that night with the iRacing Super Speedway event for the Australasian Supercars eSeries, which will be the closing part of that charity drive. So keep an eye out for all of that. If you want to donate, lockedonlads.com/charity will show you the artwork I've got up, and it'll also have the donate here button, which will take you to our Tiltify website, which is the full campaign. We're hoping to raise about $1,500 for Cure Cancer. It's a thing that's pretty close to just about all of us. Everyone's affected by it. It's one way, shape, or form. So hopefully we can get $1,500 across the line in those 4 or 5 days. A few other things might be trying to be planned around it, so we'll wait and see. Because I had bigger plans, but at the moment I've just scaled it back to those main nights: the Wednesday, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you want to check it out, that is what we're doing.
All right, that's a mouthful. It sounds like you've had a week. You've got a couple of weeks coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, he's Wilco. I'm Ranko. This is Locked On Lads Racing. We'll see you tomorrow night we'll see you on Wednesday night for an ANSCAR Thunder broadcast.
Yeah,
I think that's about it.
that's maybe it. Have a good one, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. You know what you're doing. Go check us out. See you later. Bye.